Stewart Cable Communications Channel 5 presents High School Wrestling Region 8 Finals from Absegami High School. Hi everybody, Nick Burzichelli along with John Vogeding, and we're at Absegami High School where Region 8 Finals have produced 29. District 29, we have 5 wrestlers in the finals. District 35, District 31, 9 wrestlers, and District 32 representing 7 wrestlers. And John, there's no question about it, District 31 is the outstanding district in this year's region.
And I think they have been in the last couple of years, Nick. They've had great success here, and evidence again tonight. They have 9 in the finals, including a couple head-up District 31 rematches, and of course 32 has had some great wrestlers go through this tournament. I don't think District 29 is all that big a surprise to me. The top 4 wrestlers from Paulsboro have advanced. 2 of them have already clinched third places and guaranteed a trip upstate. Only the 5 wrestlers from 29, 1 from West Effort, 4 from Paulsboro. Ernie Maiden and Charlie Phones have already qualified to go upstate, and Rip Shartnack from Pittman is qualified.
And we'll see at 152, we'll see Larry Devolt of Paulsboro go against Justin Meyer of Wildwood, who's undefeated, I guess, at 24-0. And that'll be a highlight of tonight. And then, of course, maybe the highlight of the evening, maybe Rogers from Delsey going against Chuck Ramsey of Paulsboro.
That should be. The point should really fly in that one, Nick. I don't know if it'll go 6 minutes. They're both capable of pinning the other in any matter of time. I mean, it was a wild one this afternoon when Drew Musley, the number 1 seed in that weight class, had a 5-0 lead just like that on the Delsey wrestler, and then come back. Rogers fired back, and he was leading 8-7, and he got the fall. So they're capable of scoring a lot of points or pinning each other. Yeah,
and then at 189 pounds, we're looking at Pat Lynch of Ocean City going against Damian Covington of Overbrook, and both undefeated wrestlers. And you can see Pat Lynch there warming up. He's got a 129-2 record, and he's a machine and he's on a mission.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, Damian Covington, who won the 189-pound weight class last year when his name was Damian Baylock from Edgewood. Now he's Damian Covington from Overbrook, and he's undefeated. And he says he's going to give Pat Lynch a test. So time will tell.
Yep, absolutely right. And that's just a teaser of what we're going to have tonight at Absegami High School Region 8 Finals. And we'll be back with the starting lineups right after this.
What someone with HIV infection might look like, look in a mirror and ask yourself if you're at risk.
Welcome back to Absegami High School. Nick Burzichelli along with John Vogeding. And we're going to turn it over to John Murray, the public address announcer, to announce our Region 8 finalists.
In 1989, first in 1990, and second in 1991. He is the returning Region 8 champ at 103 and has a career record of 76-13-0. The captain of the St. James wrestling team, Bob Snur. His opponent at 103 is the number 1 seed. He is a sophomore and District 31 champ. He was first in the Oak Crest Christmas tournament and is 28-1-1 this season. His career record is 38-6-1 from Delsey High School, Ed Gross. Once again at 103, Gross and Snur. At 112, this wrestler is a freshman who has worked his way up from the 7th seed. Earlier in the season, he won the Collingswood Christmas tournament and finished 2nd in District 30. His career record is already 22-2-1 from Washington Township, Mike Sandler. The top seed at 112 is a junior and has taken first place in the District 32 for the past 3 years. He was also this year's Oak Crest Christmas Tournament champ and placed 4th in Region 8 last year. This year he is 29-1 with 18 pins and has a career record of 70-15. He is a captain of the Oak Crest High School wrestling team, Michael Ware. Once again at 112, Ware and Sandler. The second seeded wrestler at 119 is a senior and was this year's District 31 champ. He is also a two-time Egg Harbor Township Christmas Tournament champion and has a record of 23-0. In his career, he is 53-16 and is a captain of the Vineland High School wrestling team, Jason Hagen. His opponent is the top seed at 119. He is a senior and is undefeated this year with a record of 26-0. He is a four-time Christmas tournament champ and the reigning District 32 champion. He was third in Region 8 last year and has a total career record of 89-16-1. The captain of the St. Augustine Prep wrestling team, Dave Lagamba. Once again at 119, Lagamba and Hagen. At 125, this wrestler is 22-2 and the District 31 champion. He was the Edgewood Christmas Tournament champ for the past 2 years and placed fourth in Region 8 last year at 119. As a senior, he has a career record of 60-13. He is a captain of the Millville wrestling team, Frank Lowers. The number one seed at 125 is an undefeated senior with a record of 24-0. He was the District 31 champion at 125 this year and is a three-time Egg Harbor Township Christmas Tournament champ, winning the most valuable wrestler this year. Last year, he placed third in Region 8 and seventh in the state. He has a career record of 72-22-3 and is a captain of the Vineland High School wrestling team, Frank Dickinson. At 125, Dickinson and Lowers. At 130, this wrestler is a senior and is seated second. He placed first in District 30 and fourth in the regions last year. This year he was 26-1 and was the Overbrook Christmas Tournament champ. He leads his team with 70 takedowns and has a career record of 43-6-1 from Overbrook High School, Clem Coleman. His opponent at 130 is the top-seeded wrestler with an undefeated record of 30-0 with 14 pins and 6 technical falls. He placed first in the Neptune tournament and first in the Oakcrest Christmas tournament, winning the Henry Schuler Memorial Outstanding Wrestler Award. His career record is 54-11-1, and he is the reigning District 32 champ from Oakcrest High School, Chuck Grass. Once again at 130, Grass and Coleman. At 135, this wrestler is a junior with a record of 22-3-1. Last week he placed first in the District 31 tournament. He is from Vineland High School, Ken Bullion. The top-seeded wrestler at 135 needs no introduction in this gymnasium. He is a junior and took first place in District 32 in 1989, 90, and 91, and is also a three-time Oakcrest Christmas Tournament champ. He is a two-time cadet-level freestyle and Greco national champ and placed sixth in the world in cadet-level Greco. Last year, he placed second in the regions and third in the states. He is undefeated this year at 29-0 with a 91-6-2 career record. A captain of the Absegami wrestling team, John Martin. Once again at 135, Martin and Bullion. At 140, this senior has a record of 27-2-2. He placed second in the District 31 in 1990 and 91 and was this year's Oak Crest Christmas Tournament champ. He has climbed from the 6th seed to make it to the finals and has a career record of 67-21-4 from Delsea High School, Tom Cresenzo. The top seed at 140 is also a senior and is undefeated with a 28-0 record. He was a 1990 Voorhees Invitational and Edgewood Christmas Tournament champ, as well as the District 31 champion at 140. He has a career record of 75-13-1 and is a captain of the Millville High School wrestling team, Dan White. Once again at 140, White and Cresenzo. Wrestling at 145 is a freshman with a 28-3-1 record. He placed second in the South Jersey Tournament of Champions and was the District 30 champion at 145 last week. He is from Highland High School, Brian Lewis. His opponent at 145 is an undefeated sophomore with a 32-0 record. He has been a District 29 champion for the past 2 years and a Caldwell Tournament champ. Last year, he was the Region 8 champion at 140 and placed 6th in the state. He has a career record of 62-6-1 from Paulsboro High School, Matt Sudter. Once again at 145, Sudter and Lewis. The second-seeded wrestler at 152 is an undefeated senior with a 24-0 record. He was a District 32 champion this year and also as a freshman. He has been first-team Cape Atlantic League for the past 2 years and has only been taken down once this season. His career record is 72-8-2. The 3-year captain of the Wildwood wrestling team, Justin Meyer. His opponent is the top-seeded wrestler at 152, and he is an undefeated junior with a 32-0 record. He has been a District 29 champion for the past 3 years and a champion in the Deep Creek and Caldwell tournaments. Last year, he placed 3rd in the Region 8 and has a career record of 84-9 from Paulsboro High School, Larry Devolt. Once again at 152, Devolt and Meyer. At 160, we have another familiar name in this gymnasium. This wrestler is 26-2 as a senior. He placed 1st in District 32 in 1989 and 2nd in 1990. And is this year's District 32 champion. He was also this year's Oak Crest Tournament champ, as well as 2 years All-Conference. His career record is 68-20. The captain of the Absegami wrestling team, Kevin Lamonica. His opponent is a junior with a 30-2 record. He is a Deep Creek and Caldwell Tournament champ, as well as this year's District 29 champion. He has a total career record of 62-11 and is the top seed at 160. From Paulsboro High School, Joe Bucko. Once again at 160, Bucko and Lamonica. Wrestling at 171 is a second-seeded senior with a 31-1 record. He has been a District 29 champion for the past 2 years and also a Caldwell Tournament champ. Last year, he placed second in the regions, and with a career record of 50-4, he is the captain of the Paulsboro wrestling team, Chuck Ramsey. His opponent at 171 is a senior and was seeded 5th in this tournament. Earlier today, he pinned the first seed to make it to the finals. He placed first in District 31 last year and second this year. He was an Oak Crest Tournament champ and placed third in Region 8 last year. He is 27-3 with a total career record of 54-10 from Delsey High School, Jim Rogers. Once again at 171, Rogers and Ramsey. At 189, this undefeated senior is 26-0 with 20 pins. He has been the District 30 champion and Overbook Christmas Tournament champion. Last year, he was the Region 8 champ at 189 and placed 4th in the States. His career record is 80-7 from Overbrook High School, Damien Covington. His opponent at 189 is also an undefeated senior with a 31-0 record. In 1988, 89, 90, and 91, he placed first in the districts and was twice Christmas Tournament champ and four-time Christmas Tournament champ and 3-time All-South Jersey, as well as Wrestler of the Year for the Inquirer and the Press. He currently holds the NJSIAA state pin record, the South Jersey career win record, and has been invited to the Pittsburgh Wrestling All-Star Meet. He has a career record of 129-2 and is a 3-year team captain from Ocean City High School, Patrick Lynch. Once again at 189, Lynch and Covington. The second-seeded wrestler at heavyweight is a senior with a record of 25-2. He placed second in his district in 1989 and is the current District 30 heavyweight champion. He placed second in the 1989 Overbrook Christmas Tournament and has a career record of 43-7 from Overbrook High School, Nick O'Brien. His opponent at heavyweight is a senior who was seeded 5th. Earlier today, he upset the #1 seed in overtime. He placed second in the District 29 tournament for the past 2 years and was a Egg Harbor Township tournament champ. This year, he is 21-6 with a 51-43 career record. He is the captain of the West Deptford wrestling team, Chris Strano. Once again at heavyweight, Strano and O'Brien. And now if we can have the lights back on, let's get ready to wrestle.
Okay, we'll take a quick break from Absegami High School. We'll be back with 103 pounds right after this.
the peer review organization of New Jersey's Medicare Rights Info Line. Call 1-800-624-4557.
Welcome back to Absegami High School, where we have Bob Snur, 103-pound defending Region A champion, going against Ed Gross of Delsey. And we're looking forward to an exciting Region A championship where District 39 is fared well.
Nick, this is a rematch of District 31 where Gross, who is 28-1-1 this year, won by decision over Bob Snur, and it was a pretty one-sided affair, 13-5. So the sparks could fly pretty good in this one.
Well, that quickly, Ed Gross of Delsey gets the first takedown.
Nick, just a little review on Gross, 28-1-1 this year. His only loss was at 119 pounds to the freshman from Glassboro, Mark Son, who we saw in the District 29 championships last year. He got pinned by Son. And his other blemish was that great match when Paulsboro and Delsey wrestled. The two teams split 6 apiece and had one tie. The tie was Gross. He had a 5-5 tie with Ernie Maiden, who earlier this evening earned his ticket upstate by decisioning Dale Dempsey of Williamstown 7-6. Ernie Maiden 27-3-2 this year, and a great effort coming back late in that match. He got a stalling point. He got a penalty point for an illegal hold. And then Dempsey let him go and tried to beat him on his feet, couldn't do it, and Maiden earned a trip to Princeton with a 7-6 win.
So Maiden goes to Princeton Gymnasium to participate in the New Jersey State Tournament, and Ed Gross is starting off well here with a 2-0 lead over Bob Snur of St. James, the returning 103 pounds Region A champion, and head coach Nick Marina and assistant coach Kevin Estasi pretty concerned with Bob Snur because last week, when these two wrestlers met in District 31, Bob Snur may have been injured, may have hurt his neck a little bit.
That's what I understand. I talked to Nicky before the match went on, and it seems that Gross got some kind of a leg scissors on the around the neck area, and that's where Snur ended up hurting his neck. Snur, by the way, Nick, he lost earlier this year to Chris Torretta of Haddon Heights, and that was up a weight at 112. So the only blemish he has at 103 pounds is to Gross, losing 13-5 in the District 31 finals.
Well, I just think the losses there show you the great confidence that the coaching staff has in both of these wrestlers, where they think they can move them up 1 or 2 weight classes, get the big wins, and come away some winners. So that's a tribute, even though they have losses, it's a tribute to their wrestling caliber.
Yes, no question about that, Nick. And I've seen Gross wrestle several times now, and he is really pretty good-looking sophomore.
Well, he's had a nice tournament so far. He's beaten some good wrestlers in the semifinals. He won 19-4. Technical fault his opponent Dale Dempsey of Williamstown, and he was able to make it to the finals here. And starting the second period, it's still pretty close. Ed Gross of Delsey still leading 2-0.
Gross won his opening round, taking the tournament by a fall, 108 over Tom Casino of Overbrook High School. There's an escape, making it 3-0.
Al Malone, the official, the referee for the first match tonight. Looks like a good official evening. It looks like Sandy Hendricks, Roy Fenimore, Howie O'Neill.
A lot of trouble here, Nick. Not
a bad crew, and Ed Gross has Bob Snur in big trouble. Gross jumping to the side, has a reverse half, has a headlock. It looks like it may be over.
I don't know how he's going to get out of this one.
Snur has a bad neck, and he's had problems. May not be able to survive it. Ed Gross able to jump right back into the headlock. Just 30 seconds left in the second period.
He's in deep trouble here, Nick. He could go anytime.
Ed Gross really cranking up on this headlock. If he can just reach back, look to the ceiling. If he can look to the gymnasium ceiling, that'll put Snur's shoulders to the mat. But Bob Snur of St. James doing an outstanding job so far fighting it off. But how much can it be? And that's it. And that's a pin. 3 minutes, 51 seconds. Ed Gross of Delsey winning his first Region 8 title by pinning the defending Region 8 champion, Bob Snur, 3 minutes, 51 seconds.
No doubt about it, Nick. When he got that headlock on there, that was lethal. I mean, it was just a matter of time. He had it locked up so tight, there was no way that Snur was going to be able to get out of that death grip. And that little sophomore's got quite a future in front of him. Nick Gross.
No question about that. Justice Sophomore wins his first Region 8 title. And the first match of the evening starts off with a pin. We're going to go to 112 pounds where Mike Sandler from Washington Township, just a freshman, he's 22-2-1. He'll go against Oakcrest. Mike Ware, he's 29-1-0. Ware of Oakcrest is the first seed in this tournament.
You know, and interesting enough now here, Nick, these are the offspring of two former regional champions wrestling in the first two weight classes. Schnurr's father, Bob, was a Region 7 champion for Highland back in 1973, 123-pound champion. And Michael Ware, who's wrestling now for Oakcrest, and in on that single, his father was a Region 4 champion in 1967. His father, Lou Ware, was a 98-pound champion in 1967. Interestingly, Nicky, Michael Ware comes into this with one loss. Everybody, you know, where was the one loss? It happened to be in a Christmas tournament when he lost to Terry Malave of Long Branch, 7-2. Should have been a finals matchup. It wasn't. It was a semifinals matchup. The only blemish on his career, and from what the coach, Doug Servey, was saying, Michael Ware's coach, that Terry Malave was no longer wrestling. Outstanding wrestler, but had some disciplinary problems in the team and is now no longer wrestling.
That's some of the problems you run into in the beginning of the season when you run into some seedings where no one really knows each other, and sometimes the first and eighth seed will meet you in the first round, and you get that first loss right off the bat when in reality it should be the finals.
Coach Doug Servey said that that they just didn't use common sense in that because last year Mike Ware was fourth in this region, and he's a quality wrestler, as shown by his 3-year total. He's got 70 wins in his career.
Ware from Oakcrest tries a deep single but runs out of match space, and I tell you, you've got to give some credit to Mike Sandler from Washington Township, who's done a fine job making it to the finals. He beat number 2 seed Jim Monahan from Woodbury. Unfortunately, unable to make weight for these semifinals, and that happens, and a real break for Sandler from Washington Township.
Right, Sandler comes in second in the district. He only has 2 losses, Nick, and they're both to the same wrestler. He lost to Forsyth of Highland, Tim Forsyth, who was the District 30 champion. He lost to him by far earlier in the year, lost to him 5-2 in the finals of the district. Get a little antsy crowd participation here.
Well, they're noticing Mike Ware driving into Sandler, right. And they're saying, hey, where's the other stall?
Right. The other blemish on Sandler was a tie, and that was with Jared Burke of Violent 6-6. Jared Burke beat Nick Lagrada of West Edford 3-2 in overtime. Now, actually, the 4-3 was the final score in overtime, but Jared Burke wins third place to go upstate, and that was a tie that Sandler had earlier this year.
So that'll end the first period where it's deadlocked at 0. 112 pounds, just the second match into tonight's Region 8 finals. And I tell you, it's a nice crowd here tonight at Absegami High School.
I wonder why.
People are actually sitting on the gymnasium floor. It's the first time I've seen that in a long time. It's nice to see.
Well, you know, tournament site director Harry Ackerman, the athletic director at Absegami, obviously with all the hoopla and the newspapers coming into tonight, got a stall point awarded there, Nick.
Yeah, stall against, looks like Chandelier of Washington Township.
He had been warned.
Oh, beautiful ankle kick. No points awarded yet. Trying to clear his right arm. He'll spin behind, he'll get the takedown, and there it is, and that's just a beautiful ankle kick by Chandelier of Washington Township. It makes it 2-1.
And this is a freshman, Nick. It doesn't look like a freshman, does he?
I was just taking a look at some of the people in tonight's finals, and it really is not a great deal of juniors and seniors. A lot of sophomores and freshmen, and that's just an indication of the great wrestling that's going to be coming in the future here.
Sandler's had a great tournament, Nick. He won 12-2 opening night, coming in here as a district runner-up. Then he had that forfeit winner from Monahan. And the problem with Monahan, who was a District 29 champ, is that he didn't have to wrestle on Wednesday night. He had to make weight for Friday night, and unfortunately, he he was cutting weight and let it get out of hand a little bit, and he ended up being overweight and couldn't wrestle.
Well, the first opponent you have to beat in wrestling is the scale, unfortunately. Well, I remember the great Gary Crawford in District 29. I don't know what year it was, I forget at the moment. In the late 70s, didn't make weight. He was the District 29 returning champion, didn't make weight that year and had to sit out.
That happens. It happens, especially this late in the season when the wrestlers are growing and they're trying to cut weight and they're growing. That's the kind of thing that can happen.
Well, this is the toughest part of the season. We're now down to 10 days left of wrestling. Everyone knows it's 10 days left, and everyone can see the end of the light and want to maybe start eating a little bit and just get a little too anxious and forget their priorities, and unfortunately it happens.
Mike Ware battling back there, Nick getting the reversal, taking a 3-2 lead.
15 seconds left in the second period. Sandy Hendricks, the official in the center tonight.
Sandler in the semifinals beat Jared Burke of Vineland 17-6. That's who he had a 6-6 tie with during the season. He scored a pretty impressive win in the semis.
Three seconds left. Sandler out trying to get a neutral. Unable to do so.
What a great match, Nick. 3-2, a freshman against a junior. This is unbelievable.
Washington Township coaching staff.
Tony Procopio on the right-hand side, he's the head coach, and he's done a great job of Washington Township this year, Nick.
I got to tell you, maybe a team to look at.
Yes.
Washington Township. They have some nice young wrestlers coming up. They fared pretty well in districts and regions this year, and look out for Washington Township in the years to come.
Well, yeah, young Tony Marcello wrestling this year, a sophomore, is very impressive. Sandler has been impressive. Van de Silver was impressive. And a couple Walker brothers wrestling. Yeah, great year this year. Fissler had a good season.
1:30 left in the third period.
Well, Ware's going to have to use all the savvy he has against this freshman. 3-2 lead. He's got to be careful now. He's going to start working that arm, or he's going to get called for stalling if he doesn't start moving and working for the fall.
Mike Ware of Oakcrest, he's leading 3-2. He's riding, and he's going to be called for riding. He's going to be called for riding from behind. Sandy Hendricks makes the call and says, hey, listen, you got to get to the side.
He had the bar, had the arm bar, but he wasn't doing anything with it. It's kind of like bellying the other guy down and just riding him, and you got to go for the fall.
1 minute left in the third period. The freshman, Sandler from Washington Township, he's on bottom. He's down by 1 point. Mike Ware of Oakcrest, he's on top, trying for a near side cradle. Sandler out on a switch. No control change.
30 seconds to go, Nick.
Ware from Oakcrest, still in control, leading by 1. He's got the near leg. There's the neutral. Mike Sandler from Washington Township ties this match with just 20 seconds left in the match.
Oh, brother, what a match, huh?
Good deep single by Mike Ware of Oakcrest. He's in tight, switching to a double. 10 seconds left. No takedown yet. 4 seconds. This could be our first overtime match. And there it is. 3-3 as we stand, and we're going to overtime. Mike Ware of Oakcrest going in overtime with Mike Sandler of Washington Township. And Mike, I can feel my voice, John, I can feel my voice going already. As a coach once told me, fish don't swim this far up creek. So we'll see some exciting matches the whole evening. And of course, when you go to the state tournament, nobody goes without being a great wrestler.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. When you get to this level, now you're talking about the elite. And that's what you're saying. There's Doug Servey on the left coaching his wrestler, Mike Ware. And, these two great wrestlers. One's a junior, one's a freshman, and they left nothing for chance out there. There's Dick O'Brien, the heavyweight from Overbrook, kind of resting up a little bit.
Well, unfortunately, the heavyweights have to wait 12 more matches, so they're just going to relax. No sense getting caught up in this excitement until the time comes.
These little guys, no emotion for him with these two little guys. I mean, go ahead, guys, knock your brains out. I think my turn's coming up later.
Not bad. Looks like my math is correct. And, well, I won't take the crowd count, but look at that crowd at Absegami High School. It's It's a packed crowd, like I said. People are on the gymnasium floor. They're standing up.
Harry Ackerman had said in between sessions that they were going to go to 2,200 in here and let a few more people sit down, Nick, and then they were going to lock the doors because anticipating this Patrick Lynch match later tonight, that's only one of 13 great bouts as we're evidencing right here.
First overtime match, 112 pounds. Mike Ware going against Mike Sandler of Washington Township, Ware from Oakcrest. 3-3 regulation, and everything carries over.
And Mike Ware in the blue singlet on the right-hand side is Mike Ware. Blue against blue, Nick. Sometimes that gets kind of confusing, but... And they go 1-1-1 in overtime, Nick, and everything carries over. So it's 3-3, and whenever points are scored, it's just going to keep adding right on. So the 3-3 stays up on the board. Sandy Hendricks, the official, and Howie O'Neill is the assistant official out there for this bout.
Good deep single by Mike Ware of Oakcrest. Sandler, Washington Township, just a freshman. Boy, what composure he has in fighting up to this deep single. No points awarded. No takedown.
All right, there was a little short conference between Sandy Hendricks and Howie O'Neill on that as to whether Mike Ware got complete control before the buzzer blew, but after a short conference, they agreed there was no takedown, so we're 3-3 going into the second overtime period. Mike Ware is on the bottom.
Again, the first three weight classes proceed up to Jadwin Gymnasium in Princeton for the state tournament, which I believe starts next Wednesday.
A week from Wednesday. And unfortunately for these guys cutting weight, there's a whole week and a half in between the next time they step on the mats after tonight.
Well, I got to tell you, I was able to have the lunch break with Joe Duke, an outstanding wrestler from Paulsville High School. And there's a reversal by Mike Ware of Oakcrest. When I asked Joe, Joe's a state champion for Paulsville and a runner-up for Paulsville and a sophomore year, fourth in the state. I asked Joe, what does that layoff mean to you? Joe actually said to me, Nick, that time actually helped me. I was injured. Those 10 days actually helped me win a state title. So it has its pros and cons.
Pros and cons for sure. The guys that are cutting weight, it's a kind of a hindrance to them to have to hold their weight down. I know, the regions here, they can weigh in on the night before.
Let's watch the reversal by Mike Ware of Oakcrest. He's on the bottom. He's tied at the moment, 3-3 at this situation. Quick sit out, turn in. Gets his left arm up. He's in Peterson's situation here. But he's going to take his time. He's going to just grab the leg. Going to step behind. And you're going to see he's going to pop his head out to get the reversal. And he ends up getting the reversal. Remember, Mike Ware of Oakcrest is on top at this moment. And no position change. The Sandy Hendrick is going to give a 1-point neutral. And that'll make it the score in overtime. This is the third period overtime, but the sixth period overall. 5-4 in favor of Mike Ware.
And what Sandy Hendricks indicated there, now here's Doug Servey questioning him on this. He indicated there was no control in that flurry, and that's why he was going to award the 1 point, because there was no control.
John, I question that myself. If there's no control, the person's still in control, then I would still think that the person on top, there is no escape. The move hasn't been finished. The person on the bottom hasn't clearly got his hips out and got the neutral. So I have to question that 1 point.
Well, see, the buzzer blew right in the middle of that whole flurry. Before Sandler could actually get complete control, come around to complete control, he was like 3/4 of the way through the move. So since the buzzer blew and ended it, that's why Sandy Hendricks gave the point for the no complete control at that point when the buzzer blew.
Okay, and that sets it up. It's 5-4. It's the last period overtime. Mike Ware of Oakcrest leading, 5-4. Mike Sandler of Washington Township, just a freshman. Down by 1.
What Ware has to be careful of here now, this is that last period, he's got to be careful of stalling. He's got to work the bar-arm series, and that's going to open the door for Sandler. There's a reversal.
That was just an outstanding job by Sandler, Washington Township. Mike Ware trying to apply the bar-arm series. Got a little sloppy. open the door for a nice reversal and a switch by Sandler. And there you have it, Sandler leading this match 6-5. 15 seconds left in the third period in overtime. It's 6-6. It's tied. 5 seconds left in the third period. This match is going to be ended 6-6 in overtime. My colleague John Vogeding, he's breaking out the rule book. I will not touch the criterion in this overtime decision. And John, what do you have?
Well, 6-6 is the final score. It's a great match.
John, let's go in here and see if we can hear the referees.
Greater number of times for unsportsmanlike
Figure this out.
2, number of points for near fall.
No.
Greater number of takedowns.
Okay, we got
One takedown for Sandler.
one takedown. How about an overtime? Nothing.
No overtimes.
Okay, it looks like Washington.
Criteria number
Criteria
3.
number 3.
Oh, there you have it. We'll wait for the big hand raising because both of these wrestlers did an outstanding job. I clearly heard what the decision is going to be. But here you're going to see Mike Sandler of Washington Township. He'll win on criteria number 3. First takedown. Just a freshman. He's on track for what Troutman of Lenape has done and what Pat Lynch of Ocean City is trying for 4 regional championships.
He's a pretty happy young man.
He well-deserved, just a freshman. And we'll be back with more high school wrestling. We'll come back to 119 pounds, Absegami High School, right after this.
Okay, last time. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
119 pounds, Violence, Jason Hagen, the seniors 20-3 going against St. Augustine's Dave Lagamba, 26-0-0, another senior, and we're on match number 3 in Region 8 final competitions, and I got to tell you, John, it's an exciting so far.
Well, you got to be really proud of the freshman from Washington Township, Sandler there. I mean, he really battled so well. Ends up 6-6 in the criteria. As we overheard there at the table, the first criteria in overtime is the opponent being penalized for unsportsmanlike conduct. You see a takedown by Lagamba there. Second criteria is greater number of points for near falls. That was in effect, so the tie remains. A wrestler with a greater number of takedowns shall be declared a winner, and that was the winner for Sandler.
Sandler had the first takedown, and he was awarded the victory. And on the scorebook, it was 6-6 going into the 6th period, as the scoreboard said, and 9 outstanding minutes of wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we got Lagamba, who's undefeated, Nick, and he came in here. He's the number 1 seed, the District 32 champion. He had a 5-19 fall over Omar Graham of Overbrook in the quarters. He had a technical fall, 16-0 in 6 minutes over Chris Mason of Woodstown in the semis. Hagen, 20 wins and 3 losses right now. He's a District 31 champ. He advanced with a 4-2 win over Mario Falciani of Gloucester Catholic, and then he advanced by beating the young sophomore from Washington Township, Anthony Marcello, 7-3 to get to this point.
And with that, look forward to listening to Bob Shyrock's Winner's Circle interviews with the champions and interesting people at the end of this match. I know we're going to be looking at Marcel, the Assemblyman's son, is wrestling tonight and placed 3rd.
Yes. Finished the season, so far in the season, 19-5. He earned his ticket to Princeton with that win over Chris Mason of Woodstown, 4-2. Quite an exciting match in the consolation.
And there it looks like a reversal coming very shortly.
There it is.
For Jason Hagen of Violent. Speaking of the Assemblyman, I remember him when he was in the Glassboro program, when I was in the midget program, and I don't want to age anybody, but he's always been a great fan of high school wrestling and a great supporter of the midget program.
Lagamba, by the way, escaped there, Nick, with about 10 seconds to go in the period, so he leads 3-2 entering the 2nd period. Lagamba has 89 wins in his career at St. Augustine Prep, 89, 16-1.
You can see, looks like Jason Hagen of Violence sporting the American flag on his headgear. You can see on his right side of his headgear. And, it's pretty ironic. We did the Paulsboro-Delsey match January 16th, and the Allied forces commenced the offense against Iraq. And today, hopefully, we were supposed to see at 12 o'clock, both sides were going to get together for the finalization of the peace talks. but looks like it's going to be 24 hours for that. But either way, Channel 5 has been able to say that we've seen it begin and we're going to see it end.
Thank God for seeing it end too. While we're chatting away here, we get a reversal for Jason Hagen, and he kind of surprised me a little bit, Nick. He is really wrestling well. Hagen's got 53 wins and 16 losses in his career. He's a senior like Lagamba, but Lagamba has 89 wins, and he's 26-0 this year. And Hagen's lost to Dively of Highland 7-6. He lost to Engstrom of Delsey 6-3, and lost to Strucky of Tom Zimmer North 4-1. Those are his 3 losses, and he's giving Lagamba everything he wants here, and a little bit more maybe.
Lagamba just one of 5, I believe, undefeated wrestlers we'll see tonight.
Right. And one of 7 wrestlers from District 32 competing, and Jason Hagen, one of 9 wrestlers from District 31. So they're the 2 dominant districts in this Region 8 championship.
Lagamba from St. Augustine Prep, he's on the bottom. Jason Hagen from Byron, he's leading the match 4-3.
You see, he's keeping that half in there, Nick, which is, keeping the pressure on to keep from getting called for stalling. Now there's Lagamba working right through it.
And he's going to get the neutral with just 25 seconds left in the second period. Howie O'Neill, the official for this match. Roy Fenimore, the side judge. Five seconds left in the second period. And we're going to end the second period tied at 4.
Are we headed for another overtime?
Keep your scorebook out. Keep your rule book out, John.
I brought no ink tonight either. Everything in pencil tonight. Last week I was looking for the whiteout in my wife's pocketbook, and I found everything but the kitchen sink in there, and guess what? No whiteout.
Well, listen, I went to a little restaurant in between breaks here for lunch, and your wife was there, and can you believe she tried to sell 50-50s? I couldn't believe it.
Well, we had an escape, and now we have a takedown, and now we have a 7-4 lead for Lagamba.
That quickly, Lagamba scores 3 unanswered points. Quick escape and takedown.
And one thing I've seen a lot in this tournament, Nick, you saw the freestyle start there by Hagen. So many wrestlers seem to be giving a point away, and it really puzzles me a little bit. You get a 4-4 tie, and rather than try and turn the wrestler, just give them one. And bang, that's fine. You're losing 5-4, but then Lagamba goes right back, gets a takedown, and has a 7-4 lead. Now Hagen's got to get 3 points somewhere.
Nope, I agree with you. Hagen doing an outstanding job trying to reverse Lagamba, but unable to whip him over, and Lagamba stays in control. And it may be potentially dangerous here.
Yeah, see the knees are interlocked there. The legs were interlocked on Howie O'Neill's side, and that's what caused that potentially dangerous call. Billy Ward's the coach of Dave Lagamba. He's a St. Augustine Prep graduate himself and wrestled several years at Drexel University. Now he's back taking over the program that Bobby Malatesta started. Of course, the veteran Dennis Miller is coaching Vineland High School, and he's been there for quite a few years now. Less than a minute to go, Nick. Final period.
Lagamba on top, called for stalling. 57 seconds left in the third period. 7-4.
You know why that call was made.
Well, he's riding from behind. He's not really showing any offensive movement to get a pin or to show that he's going for the fall. And he's called for stalling.
And it could happen again here pretty soon too, because he's got to take that man to the mat. Of course, he doesn't here. Now there you got an escape. So it's 7-5. Lagamba attacks him here. He can get 2.
And he does. He's got the takedown. So we saw Jason Hagen get the neutral, and right back Dave Lagamba of St. Augustine Prep getting the takedown. So it's 9-5. 30 seconds left in the third period. Dave Lagamba, a senior, District 31.
He was third in this region last year, so this would be a sweet victory for him. If he wins this, he was third last year. He could be first this year.
Oh, a standing elbow roll by Jason Hagen. Doesn't look like it's successful.
Lagamba with a figure 4 on the legs, on the head, Nick. That'll be stopped for potentially dangerous.
"17 seconds left in the third period. Looks like Dave Lagamba will win a Region 8 crown here.
9-5 lead.
There's going to be a stall called against Dave Lagamba. It's now 9-6. 12 seconds left in the third period.
Running out of time, Nick. Hagen's going to wrestle a good match, but running out of time.
5 seconds left. Won't have enough time, and Lagamba from St. Augustine will win this match 9-6. Third Region 8 last year, Region 8 champion this year. Dave Lagamba, St. Augustine Prep. I tell you, who had a good tournament, and there's not a team tournament. Violent.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you, Violent must have had 5 or 6 people in the semifinals.
They brought some great wrestlers here, Nick. They got 3 going tonight. Hagen with the first one. You got Dickinson still going to go coming up. But they wrestled very, very well in this tournament.
I got it. This next match at 125 pounds, where Millville's Frank Lower, he's 22-2. He's a senior going against Violence Frank Dickinson. He's 24-0. He's undefeated. But I got to tell you, this Millville wrestler has had an outstanding tournament. Don't be surprised if he pulls the big upset tonight.
That he has. He finished 3rd in the district, and in semifinals, District 31 had a 1st, a 2nd, and a 3rd still going. Dickinson and Tim Doherty of Delsey and Frank Lowers. Now, Lowers has worked his way out as a number 10 seed, and that simply means he's a 3rd placer in the district, so they just get placed. But he actually was like designated number 10 seed. He won 14-1 over Junior Torres. He got back and he beat the number 2 seed Rich Walker of Washington Township, who placed here last year. He beat him 10-6. Then he beat Tim Doherty in the semifinals. He was leading him 15-4 when he pinned him in 5:54, and Doherty he beat him in the district. So he makes the finals that way, and that's your pick. Your upset pick so far is Lowers in this bout.
Well, I've seen and I've been a part of this type of buzzsaw where a wrestler who is really unseeded and he has a great tournament, he ends up having a great weekend. He wins a Region 8 title because this is his weekend.
Right. And, Lowers coming in, 22 wins, 2 losses. His losses were to Jim Dively, the impressive Highland wrestler, 10-9, and then Doherty in the district semifinals, 8-7. So, there are no slouches that he lost to. So he's really performed very well coming in here. Roy Fenimore, the on-mat official, and Al Maloney, the assistant in this case. You know about Al Maloney in regional competition, don't you, Nick?
Why don't you fill me in, John, just in case I don't?
Well, Al Maloney wrestled at Edgewood High School and was a 3-time regional champion himself. And there haven't been too many 3-time regional champions. The fact is, Pat Lynch last year doing it became the 14th in South Jersey history to win 3 district titles. And Maloney won at 98 pounds at 72 and 73 and 101 pounds at 74 in Region 8.
Well, I got to tell you, he looks like he's in wrestling condition right now.
And of course, Nick, you know how tough it is to win 3 regional titles. You've been there yourself and battling in the finals, and it's no picnic out there. You got to be pretty doggone good.
Now, it's always difficult to repeat.
Yes.
Always difficult to repeat.
Yes.
So 45 seconds left in the first period. We're scoreless. Frank Dickinson of Violent going against Frank Lowers of Millville.
And Lowers of Millville, of course, in the white top there, you can see the little lightning bolt in the back of his uniform there in the rear end area. They're the Thunderbolts, and there's that Thunderbolt.
I was watching in the first round today, and Lowers taking some injury time out here. But Ocean City, we'll get to watch some Ocean City. They have OC on the back of their uniforms, and some other uniforms have some other decals on the rear end there. And
you know what the OC stands for, don't you? You think it stands for Ocean City, don't you?
What does it stand for?
Oyster crackers.
Oh man, we'll make sure we edit that out. John Mondell, make sure you edit that out later on today. Oyster crackers.
Hey, you can see Lowers being worked on. Looks like he has a rib injury. To the left of the screen is Joe Monteleone, the fine young coach from Millville High School. And
Looked like John, when Frank Dickinson went in for a double or single, his head went right into the ribcage area, and with the penetration, may have bruised him a little bit.
Now these guys have been knocking each other out in this tournament. You know, Dickinson, he got to the finals. He was the #1 seed, and he beat Nick Stafford of Gateway 13-0 in the quarterfinals, and then he had an impressive 13-1 over Ted Davis of Ocean City, the #4 seed in the semis.
Looks like Lowers is going to be called for stalling with just 14 seconds left in the first period.
Trying to get a 0-0 score and get a warning for stalling. That's obviously he's just not being the aggressor out there.
Locking it up where Bear Hug tries the back heel trip, runs out of time. That'll end the first period at 125 pounds.
Dickinson last year, Nick, was not only third here in this region, but he ended up 7th in the state, and that's kind of
not bad.
No, you know,
I got to tell you, when you go upstate and you can place, no matter what you do.
And I don't know who designated him as 7th in the state because they only gave out 6 places last year, but I guess the coach felt in putting down the resume that he was the 7th best.
Good reversal by Frank Dickinson and Violin. That's the first 2 points of the evening. Came with just 8 seconds into the second period.
That was a great move by Dickinson. He set that up perfectly, Nick.
We're at 125 pounds. We started off at 103 pounds. Red Cross of Delsey wins the Region A title by pinning Bob Snur of St. James 3 minutes and 51 seconds. And then an outstanding overtime match, criteria number 3, where Mike Sandler of Washington Township beats Mike Ware of Oakcrest. Then we just saw Dave Lagamba, St. Augustine Prep, win 9-6. That brings us to 125 pounds.
Just some great matches so far, Nick. I mean, that overtime with Sandler and Michael Ware was just about as exciting a match as you can get.
Frank Dickinson trying to stack Frank Lowers of Millville, and he's got it in
trouble now.
Combination. He's going to get it. Looks like he's going to get 2, and there's a reversal by Lowers of Millville. Scores 2-2, and another reversal right back by Frank Dickinson of Vineland.
Well, that was a quick flurry. It looked like there was going to be back points, Nick, but Roy Fenimore only got 1 count off each time, so he never got a 2 count in order to give the 2 points.
So it's 4-2, and Frank Dickinson of Vineland takes the lead with just 19 seconds left in the second period.
Lowers getting warned for called for the stalling call. He got warned earlier when they were in the neutral position. That time he gets called for not making a move on the bottom, and that cost him a point.
So now that makes it 5-2. Frank Dickinson and Biden taking the lead into the third period. 125 pounds. We're at Absegami High School, Region 8 finals. Top 3 go to Jadwin Gymnasium in Princeton.
A week from Wednesday, everybody wrestles that first night. Nick.
Everybody goes there.
Second and thirds wrestle in the first round, and then the second round that evening will be the first placers going.
So it looks like March the 13th
will be opening night
first round at Princeton.
Right. And the reason it's not this upcoming Wednesday is that originally it was set that way, but the people who run Princeton University and are in control of the gymnasium found out they had another event going on there involving basketball, and it did not become available, so they had to push it back a week.
Quick sit-out turnout by Lowers of Millville. He gets a neutral, and he's right back in deep on a single on Frank Dickinson of Violent.
Well, did he ever come back in a hurry on that one, Nick? He got the escape, and it didn't waste a very little time coming in deep on the ankle.
I kind of think that may be the best time to get a takedown. It's right after the break. Shoot right in to get the takedown. No change in position yet.
Still neutral.
Good deep double leg by Dickinson of Violent, and he's going to get the takedown. It's 7-3, 1 minute left in the third period. John, getting back to the Princeton and the 10-day time limit there. I don't know why that happens. I know Princeton has some schedule conflicts, but let's move it to maybe Rutgers and New Brunswick, where it's a neutral area where you won't have these scheduling conflicts. Is New Brunswick a little north than Princeton? It may be, but it's a state university. It's not a private institution, and I went there.
Why don't you just come out and say what you really mean?
That's right.
Well, the wrestling committee is looking into it. Roy Fenimore is indicating once the injury clock will start for Lowers, and you see Joe Monteleone, the coach, come out.
And we're going to take a quick break at Absegami High School. We'll be back right after this.
We're back into action here, Nick.
And we're back at Absegami High School. We're in the third period. 30 seconds left. Frank Dickinson of Violin leading the match over Frank Lowers of Millville, 7-3. And John, before the break and the tape change, talking about Princeton University.
Absolutely, yeah, Nick. I think you're right. I think other avenues have to be looked at. We have a situation. Got a stalling call there, and a point. It's 8-3. That's Millville being hit again. Princeton is nice, but they're kind of independent. They kind of do what they want to do, and I think we have to look at other avenues, and maybe Rutgers is the avenue to look at. Winding down here, and this is going to make a 1-2-3 finish for District 31 in this weight class. Dickinson going to win here. Lowers going to be second, and earlier Steve Doherty of Delsey won 8-7 in overtime over Ted Davis of Ocean City. So that's 1-2-3 for District 31 at this weight class in Region 8.
I'm going to tell you, that's a great tribute to this weight class, 125 pounds, where the district sweeps and just continues on. And they get 1, 2, and 3 going to Jadwin Gymnasium in Princeton. Lowers really has to be proud of what he's done. He's come number 10 seed, and he's placed second, and he's going to Princeton.
Unfortunately, there's the two coaches of both wrestlers. Dennis Miller in the background there, and with his assistant coach congratulating Frank Dickinson. And your first long shot strikes out.
Yeah, well, it happens, and I'm sure it'll happen more often than I'd like. So we're at 130 pounds, where over Brooks, Clem Coleman, he's 26-1-0. He's a senior. He's going to get up against Oakcrest. Chuck Crass, he's 30-0-0, and he's a senior. And Clem Coleman coming off of a big semi-final upset against the defending Region 8 champion, Walt Robinson of Pennsgrove.
Right, and the interesting thing about Chuck Grass, I was talking to Coach Doug Servey, the Oakcrest coach, and I said, where did Grass come from? He's a senior, he's 29-0, and I've never seen him wrestle here before. He says, well, that's because each year he was wrestling in the first semester at Oakcrest, and unfortunately was ineligible in the second semester because of the grades. He said he has all A's and B's this year. He's really seemed to have matured quite a bit, wants to go into college, and he's headed in the right direction.
Well, he's heading in the right direction to go to Princeton, because he'll go win or lose here.
Now, one of the interesting things in the introductions, Nick, talking about Clem Coleman, they said over the PA system he had 70 takedowns this year, so he's quite active on his feet.
I'm looking forward to, I think it's at 152 pounds, where Justin Meyer, they introduced that he's only been taken down one time this year.
That's interesting.
That's a really big statistic there, and he's going against, of course, the undefeated Paulsboro's Larry Devolt,
who was very good on his feet.
Very good on his feet. Yeah. So that's what we're anticipating at 152.
Little background here, Nick. Chuck Grass, a senior, first in District 32, 30-0 this year, 54-11-1 in his career. And again, wrestling in the first semester, and then, grades a problem in the second semester. That's why he doesn't have more wins. Clem Coleman, first in District 30, 26 wins, 1 loss this year. His only loss was to a wrestler from Brick Memorial, 13-12, 43-6-1 in his career. And he had a very, very good match against Walt Robinson of Pennsgrove, won 6-3 in the semifinals, and Robinson, of course, was the champion at 135 pounds last year.
Coleman almost finding himself in trouble with stalling. With just a few seconds left in the match, takes Robinson down and wins the match.
That was it. That was the deciding points. Of course, Robinson came back and earned a trip to Princeton by taking third place. He beat Jimmy Haig of Island 7-1 to finish, or to up his record to 25 wins, 4 losses so far this season.
30 seconds left in the first period. We're scoreless. Chuck Grass of Oakcrest going against Clem Coleman of Overbrook.
There's a real defensive battle right now, Nick.
It's kind of the same strategy Coleman used in a semifinals match. He was waiting for Robinson to shoot on him, and he was going to counter everything that Robinson threw at him. No takedown. 2 seconds left in the first period. 130 pounds. We're at Absegami High School, where we may be 2,200 plus.
Oh, absolutely. It is really jam-packed in here. I've been every session, and this is by far the fullest it's been in any of the sessions.
Yeah, and I don't remember the crowd being like this last year. I know every seat was taken, but this is the first year I see people sitting down on the gymnasium floor.
I think because of the fact that Patrick Lynch is going into a little bit of history tonight, that they try to get as many people in here as they could.
John, I'm not so sure that may be that true. I mean, it's your second telecast, and from what I understand, it was, well, John Vogeding's going to be at Absegami, and let's go see him before it gets on cable.
Got an escape that took place there, so we got a 1-0 lead for Clem Coleman.
Well, I tell you, Chuck Grass of Oakcrest is trying to snap down Clem Coleman of Oakcrest, and Al Maloney is going to step in and say, listen, a little too aggressive on the snap down. Let's keep it within bounds. And if we're going to do a snap down, let's do it right.
And Al Maloney's been there before, Nick. Former 3-time regional champion himself. I mean, he knows the emotions that are running through the wrestlers out there. I think he sensed that Chuck Grass was maybe getting a little bit over-emotional, and that's why he was offered his expertise.
Coleman in on a deep single, takes Grass out of bounds. Minute 22 seconds left in the second period.
Now, this was quite a dogfight.
Sandy Hendricks, the side official.
Right. First of 3 wrestlers in the finals. And of course the second Oakcrest wrestler.
It's going to be stalling on Coleman of Oakcrest. Excuse me, of Overbrook. Coleman wearing the red anklet.
Yeah, I think that was just a matter of time, Nick, because I think Grass has really been trying to put the pressure on more. I think Coleman has been more the defensive wrestler.
30 seconds left in the second period. Going to be a call warning against Chuck Grass of Oakcrest.
Well, they've both been warned, so now the points start flying next.
Now, it'll be interesting to see how quickly that'll happen, whether or not Malone is consistent on the stalls. When is he going to hit him again?
Well, he's keeping a pretty close eye on him, After that second warning was given there, he was right in between the two of them, watching their movements to see who was going forward, who was going backward. Now destiny in Grass's hands now. He's on the bottom. He has to get out to get a point to tie it up. Now we got a caution on top. Improper start by Coleman, and that brought the caution out from Maloney.
Outside leg stand up by Grass and out of bounds.
Paul Muriello, the veteran coach of Overbrook, on pins and needles in his corner. Doug Servey, a little concerned in the other corner. Looks like a break is going to make the difference here, Nick.
Again, Crass up on an outside leg, and he's out of bounds, and there is the head coach of Overbrook.
The veteran Paul Muriello. Been around a long time, Nick. I remember when all that hair was black.
Minute 48 seconds left in the third period. Coleman of Overbrook leading this match. He's on top. Chuck Crass of Oakcrest, he's on the bottom. Needs an escape to tie this match up. Both wrestlers called for stalling. Coleman from Overbrook called for caution on top. The starting position. Minute 32 seconds left. 130-pound weight class.
Coleman is really doing a great job in the riding here, Nick. You just have to wonder if he continues to ride, will he be hit with that stalling call? Keep in mind, both wrestlers have a warning.
Again, another quick outside leg stand-up by Chuck Crass of Oakcrest, and again, and again we're out of bounds, so no stalling happening here. I mean, it's a good outside leg stand-up. Coleman doing the best he can, trying to bring Crass down. Minute 25 seconds left in the third period. You can see that quick right leg stand-up by Crass, doing a nice job doing it. A Granby roll by Crass, and gets the escape. Woo! Nice Granby roll by Chuck Crass. And he's pushing into him, and it may be a stalling. Let's see if a stalling's called. No stalling called. Coleman is just requesting maybe to be towed down, so we'll see both wrestlers towed down.
You know, and this has happened several times during the tournament, Nick. It is getting kind of hot and humid in here, and especially when you get to some of the bigger wrestlers, they sweat a little bit more easily. And a lot of times they have been towed down.
Yeah, we saw this in the semifinals in all the matches where the wrestlers were sweating so bad that they had to towel them down. Remember, like you mentioned, both of them have stall warnings. 1 minute and 3 seconds left in the third period. Let's watch this escape by Crass. Let's watch that Granby roll. Quick right leg stand up. Front heel trip by Coleman, and Crass just goes with it and does a nice Granby roll and gets an escape.
Yeah, just I remember Greg Z. White doing that years ago. It's almost a forward roll right underneath his opponent, coming right out, either getting an escape or a reversal. And Greg Z. White was quite a pole vaulter in high school. He parlayed that right into a state championship for Pennsville High School.
45 seconds left in the third period. The match is tied at 1-1. Again, Chuck Crass of Oakcrest pushing into Coleman, getting a takedown. Not yet, no points awarded. No points awarded. On the line, supporting parts of the body of Crass not in, so it's still 1-1. But that's got to leave an impression in the referee's mind when you come to stalling. Maybe if Coleman backs up off the whistle, it could be a stall. Again, another backup.
Crass is really putting the pressure, really driving into him. I'm not so sure that was a takedown. I don't know. Maybe to get it deeper in the season gets, the less I know.
Again, another quick shot by Crass of Oakcrest.
I saw Coleman just take a little peek at the clock up there, and that could be deadly.
Seconds. Now we have 17 seconds left in the third period, and let's remind the folks, in the semifinal match tonight, Coleman beat Robinson with just 6 seconds left because Robinson was shooting in on him, but Crass does a nice job shooting in on a deep single. And the legs are in, and there's 1 point. It's going to be stalling. That's going to be going out of bounds, and Al Malone, unfortunately, camera's not on him, but very visual in giving that 1 point. That's a 1 point because he thinks Coleman is running off the mat.
Right.
That gives Crass from Oakcrest a 2-1 lead, 10 seconds left in the third period. Having a little conference with Sandy Hendricks. And the head coach of Overbrook is requesting just an explanation. And there you can see the head coach of Oakcrest. So Chuck Crass of Oakcrest is winning this match 2-1 with that 1 point call. Going out of bounds. 10 seconds left. Ed Kress of Oakcrest, very aggressive. 7 seconds left. 4 seconds left. Ed Kress again traveling and really doing a good job pushing in to Coleman of Oakcrest.
He can feel it now. He can feel that wind.
That's it.
Got it.
2-1.
Chuck Kress.
Chuck Kress of Oakcrest wins Region 8, 130 pounds. 2-1 over Clem Coleman of Overbrook. A very aggressive match.
That's where aggressiveness pays off because he just kept the pressure on entirely. You know, the call was a tough call to make, but, you know...
well, it was either going to be stalling or had to be going out of bounds. So one point was coming either way. Either way, the point was well-deserved.
Chuck Kress kept the pressure on, Nick, and that's what decided for him. 2-1, that was the deciding factor, keeping that pressure on.
Absolutely right, and going to 135 pounds where Violence Ken Bullion, he's a junior, he's 23-1 going up against the outstanding junior from Absegami High School, John Martin, 29-0-0, and third in the state last year, looking to improve himself this year.
Well, he's an outstanding wrestler, Nick. He's undefeated this year. He's just had a great career. He's got 91 wins at Absegami, and of course he is he's only a junior, so I mean he's got still some time ahead of him for being third in the state last year. More importantly, he really wrestles hard in the off season, and that two-time national Greco champion and 6th in the world in the Greco. So that's John Martin on the right-hand side, 29-0.
Oh, that quickly, 5 seconds, cross-grain single for a takedown. Martin of Absegami takes the lead.
He's a treat to watch. He won 16-1 in the quarterfinals, a technical fall, and 4-10 against Horace Worthington of Edgewood, and then he beat Bill Engstrom 14-5. Bill Engstrom of Delsey 14-5 in the semi. So he's put on quite a show here during the last 2 days.
Watch how quick this cross grain. You'll see him right arm through cross grain. He'll grab the inside of the leg. He'll go cross grain single. Just stay right with it. Tries a, looks like a fireman's carry there. And gets the takedown. We missed the.
And while we're on break, he gave an escape.
We missed that.
And it came back with it. It's a great takedown again, and that kind of knocked the air out of Ken Bullion a little bit. Bullion, Nick, is 20 wins, 3 losses, and a tie this year.
Like I did something wrong.
His losses to Monroe of Egg Harbor Township, Gish of Cherokee, Bird of Oakcrest, and he had a 1-1 tie with Gentile, Paulsboro, Donald Gentile.
Who incidentally had a really rough time coming out of the quarterfinals, leading 8-1 and then losing by fall.
Yeah, you hope the wrestlers learn from experience and learn from the things that happened to them. He had an 8-1 lead against Engstrom and was really doing a job, and then all of a sudden he got a little bit passive, I believe, and a couple times when he got in a single there was no motion on it, and he got locked up by Engstrom, and the first time he got put on his back, the second time he got put on his back, and he got pinned in 4:48.
John Martin of Absegami elects to let up Ken Bullion of Violent, and the score is 4-2. Martin of Absegami leading, and another quick single for the takedown.
You know, I thought
that was so quick that Bullion, when Martin went in for the single, Bullion went flying past him, and Martin had to catch him before he went too far by him.
You know, I thought Matt Sudter could pull some takedowns, and Larry Devolt and Patrick Lynch, and John Martin's right up there with him, and he's doing a great job out there. By the way, Nick Engstrom, Bill Engstrom of Delsey, who did beat Donald Gentile in the quarterfinals, came back and beat Matt Musto of Pittman by fall in 3:56 earlier this evening, and he got third place, and he'll be going upstate next week.
With Martin winning the Greco-Roman type of tournaments, you know, I kind of thought that he'd come out and do a lot of upper body, and that's what Greco-Roman's all about. But he's going nothing but waist down and doing some great singles to doubles and taking down and putting on a real clinician out there. He's just mechanical right now.
With authority. Well, like you say, yes. Yeah, he smells a little bit of blood, and he's going for the kill. He's doing a great job.
8-3. Finish up the first period. 135 pounds.
Martin, a very aggressive wrestler this year too, Nick. He had 18 falls, a couple of forfeits, a couple of technical falls. The closest match he had was back in the third week of January when he beat Horton at Pemberton 5-3.
And of course, Gene Barber, the head coach of Absegami High School, former Paulsboro wrestler, second in the nation from Trenton State College.
You're absolutely right about that. He finished third in the nation Division III his senior year at Trenton State and got an invitation to the Division I tournament with the big boys and went a step further and came in second in the country. He lost to Iowa State in the finals of the big boy tournament.
It's a big boy tournament. A true wrestling fan there.
Which, of course, Division III schools can't do anymore. They ended that a couple years ago. Division I is strictly Division I now. Division II has its tournament, Division III its tournament. So no longer can a guy like Gene Barber become an All-American on the Division I level.
That quickly, John Martin from Absegami gets the reversal. And John, maybe it's because the Division III schools are winning some titles or getting in the final, so they say, hey, listen, let's separate them.
Yeah.
But that quickly, John Martin of Absegami takes the lead 10-3.
He is not only getting a tough reversal and a tough takedowns, he's brutalizing his opponent. Bullion is got to feel some bumps and bruises right about now. Hello. We've seen some great matches from John Martin over the last couple of years, Nick, with the Absegami Paulsboro matches, and of course down here at the regionals. And it's a shame. I understand that Paulsboro and Absegami will not be wrestling next year. The end of that series for I don't know how long, but it was always a great match with either here or back at Paulsboro with the two teams going at it. Now I understand that because of the schedule conflict, they will not be meeting next year.
That is unfortunate because Gene Barber always brings a well conditioned and a well-schooled team to Paulsboro, and usually when they meet, both teams have respectable records. Hey, when Absegami wrestled Paulsboro this year, Absegami pinned 4 weight classes in a row, 24-0.
24 points. 24 points. That was a shocker.
I think my father had to get the paper bag out. He was hyperventilating.
Yeah.
So 17 seconds left in the second period. John Martin, all John Martin. It's 10-4. Over Ken Bullion of Violent. Oh, nice Peterson roll. 2 seconds left. 1, let's see if any points. No points awarded. Again, Martin, just a junior. 91 wins. 6 losses and 2 ties.
Hey, and the thing that also impresses me is the 2-time national champion in Greco. That's no small feat either.
Yep, he elects to let Ken Bullion up.
I think I've seen more of that in this tournament than I've seen all year. This intentional escape.
Well, I'm in favor of it as long as your objective is to go in and get the takedown. As long as it's not a stall tactic or. I think it speeds up the match a little bit.
It does. This is this is Olympic style wrestling is predicated on action. And of course, what they're doing here is when he lets him up, goes to his feet, you hope that you're going to get action coming through with it.
Well, with that, Ken Bullion getting the escape, it's 10-5.
10-5, and there's
there's the takedown.
So
it's 12-5.
Yeah, it's 12-6.
So 6 points spread here.
Potentially dangerous. See that knee up in the air and bending against the ground. You never bent anybody's knee like that, did you?
No, that hurt people. I didn't want to hurt people. So we're adjusting our crowd mic. That has no reflection of the intensity that we're hearing at Absegami High School. And it sounds like it's coming back now.
Well, people are certainly getting a treat tonight, Nick. I mean, it's just like when you and your compatriots at Paulsboro used to come in here and wrestle back in the 80s, early 80s, used to send some sparks of excitement out like we're seeing tonight.
Yeah, I graduated in 80. Never had the opportunity to wrestle in this facility. I wrestled down at Violent. And with that, John Martin gets the takedown. 37 seconds left in the third period. He's leading 14-6. But we wrestled at Violent High School where I don't think the gymnasium was as big and the facilities as pleasant. Harry Ackerman of Absegami does a fine job putting this tournament on. At least for myself at Channel 5, what a great job he's done with the facilities that we've had, and You know, he just does a great job.
And he's certainly taking good care of the media, too, in all facets. It's really a pleasure to come here and cover a tournament. Bullion battling right to the end, Nick, but Martin the winner, 14-6.
So John Martin of Absegami will become Region 8 champion, 135 pounds, 14-6. Gene Barber gets his first Region 8 champion for the evening, and we're going to have more high school wrestling right after this.
If you need help financing your first home, don't go to extremes. Let the state of New Jersey help. You can be on the move in no time. Call 1-800-NJ-HOUSE.
Back at Absegami High School, Nick Burzichelli along with John Vogeding. We're at 140 pounds. Where Tom Cresenzo of Delsey is a senior, is 27-2-2, going against Millville's Dan White, undefeated senior, 28-0-0, and we're at 140 pounds, and Region 8 competition has not let me down as far as the competition has gone.
Well, if anybody's disappointed, Nick, they don't like wrestling. It's that simple. This is the District 31 rematch. Dan White, the second Millville wrestler going at it tonight. 28-0. He got to the finals by beating Clarence Cannell of Kingsway 15-4 and beating Ron Rossetti of Mainland 12-4. Tom Cresenzo finished second in District 31, which meant he had to wrestle last Wednesday, so he started off with a 3-2 win over Justin Bird of Oakcrest. Then he beat District 29 champion Chris Riddell of Pittman 6-1. And then he beat Kip Covington of Overbrook 4-2 to reach this point, and it looks like he's after this title.
Cresenzo trying a fireman's carry. Dan White of Millville countering, and if it stays any longer like this, it may be called stalemate. But if Cresenzo can make White think about his back, White may belly down, but there's the stalemate. We'll start back up.
That's a good call, Nick. That's because Cresenzo was in deep on that, but White never let his shoulders go closer to the mat. He kind of locked up in a rocking position and never let himself be intimidated with exposing his back to the mat. Danny White, 28-0 this year, 75 wins in his varsity career, and Cresenzo wrestled at Vineland last year. In addition to the Delsey lineup this year, he's a senior and he has 67 career wins. He has 2 losses coming into this bout. He lost to Dowling of Kittatinny, who was the state champion last year. He kind of lost pretty big to him, 16-2. He lost to White, who he's wrestling right now, 14-11 in overtime in the district finals. His other 2 blemishes, a 6-6 tie with Albertson of Eastern and a 6-6 tie with Lewis of Highland.
So one of those losses he can make up tonight. 10 seconds left in the first period. Scoreless.
This is called the revenge factor.
So we're scoreless, 140 pounds. Starting the second period, Dan White of Millville. He's going against Tom Cresenzo of Delsey.
Cresenzo, by the way, Nick, who beat Kip Covington 4-2 in the semifinals. Covington came back and raised his record to 24 wins, 2 losses and 2 ties, with a 10-4 win over Ron Rossetti of Mainland in the consolation. So Covington will be going to Princeton.
And there's the escape by Cresenzo. And remember, the top 3 go to Princeton. The top 3 will compete for the state championship.
The only drawback this year, Nick, to going to Princeton is that the last couple of years they wrestled in the 5th and 6th places, which I thought was really great for the kids. And now this year they've changed it, and they're only going to go wrestle until 3rd and 4th. And the thing I don't like about it is that a wrestler can advance to the semifinals, lose in the semis, go into the wrestlebacks, and not even finish 3rd. He can get eliminated.
Well, then you have to really think about why even do wrestlebacks.
Right.
If you're not going to count the place winners, then just stop the wrestlebacks and just go back to the single elimination.
Single elimination, sure.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of the coaches are upset with it, and Bob Frederick is on the committee, the wrestling committee, and Art Marinelli, who's the seating chairman here, he's on the wrestling committee, and they intend to go after that and try and change that.
But that quickly, Dan White of Millville gets the takedown. 1 minute left in the second period. Dan White of Millville takes the lead 2-1.
And he's the district champ. He's the one that beat Cresenzo 14-11 in overtime in the District 31 final. I think you see a lot more technical wrestling here, Nick, than you normally see in like a dual meet or district championships. It's a higher level of wrestling. And
yeah, I think this is a tournament where, and there's the escape by Cresenzo. This is a tournament where it's individual wrestling, and this is where you do what you have to do to move on. Nice duck under by White. And he gets the takedown. It's 4-2. That happened with just 17 seconds left in the second period. Yeah, so that's why when you get to the regional competition, the state competition, it's no more team competition. It's individual wrestling, and you do what you have to do. You may not get the pin. You may only win 2-1. May not look pretty, but you do what you have to do to move on. Let's watch that duck under by White of Millville. He's in a tie-up. He's going to pop the elbow. Steps with his right leg. Ducks under. Looks at the ceiling. Spins behind and gets the takedown.
That's what you call textbook perfect.
So a nice job by Dan White of Millville getting that takedown and increasing his lead to 4-2. Third period. It's going to be a stalemate, but earlier on this evening we heard the outstanding or the most valuable or the Coach of the Year for the Region 8, Steve Isles received that award for 1991 for Region 8 Coach of the Year. And Bob, you have some nice statistics on him. 1976, he was Region 8 champion at 129 pounds.
Steve Isles, Nick, is one of the class acts of coaching, believe me. And I think I saw an all-time record this afternoon when one of his wrestlers won. Right there, Steve, very intense on the sideline. Saw him jump in the air this afternoon when Jim Rogers pinned Drew Musley, and we figured it's a new indoor Absegami record for a standing high jump by a coach in the corner of the winning wrestler.
Well, I got to tell you, I was in the stands this afternoon. I watched it. I wasn't really concerned on who won, but I jumped up in the air too because it was just an exciting match.
It really was. They really went at each other.
Cresenzo in deep on a single. Trying to post the elbow. Trying to run it and spin behind of Dan White. Maybe get the takedown. Another stalemate called by Howie O'Neill.
And of course, coming up shortly, Nick, something that's been intact all season, and a treat for the fans, obviously in their community, but Murderers Row, Paulsborough's Murderers Row is coming up with Matt Sudter and Larry Devolt, Joe Bucko, and Chuck Ramsey. They've all made the finals here, 4 of the 5 finalists for District 29. Of those 4 Paulsborough wrestlers, along with Strano of West Deptford, their combined record right now, Nick, is an incredibly awesome 125 wins and 3 losses.
I gotta think Strano of West Deptford's story may be the story of Region 8 if he's able to go ahead and win the title. I mean, he upsets the #1 seed. He comes in district runner-up and upsets the #1 seed in the semifinals 11-10. He beats Jason Jenkins of Oakcrest 11-10 in overtime. And Chris Strano, not satisfied and wants to continue on to Princeton Gymnasium. And what a nice job he did in the semifinals.
Well, last year the Region 8 champion was the 3rd place medalist in District 29. That was Earl Moore of Deptford, and certainly with Chris Strano now in the finals, he certainly can do the same thing. He was the district runner-up, and the man that beat him, Dan Nate's already been eliminated. Fact is, he didn't even get 3rd place. He got beat again in the consolations by Jason Jenkins, who Strano beat in the semifinals. So anything can happen with those guys, and I think there's going to be some more great wrestling coming up in a short time.
19 seconds left in the 3rd period. Dan White of Millville leading 5-2.
Kind of a matter-of-fact match going on right now. Dan White undefeated, beat Cresenzo in the district final, and kind of been in control of this one right from the get-go.
Nice takedown again. He works that cross-grain single very well, and it gets him a Region 8 title. That'll be it. Dan White of Millville will win 7-2 over Tom Cresenzo of Delsey. And a nice match by White, very methodical, Nothing flashy, very basic, got the job done, and walks away with a title.
And over into the hands of his coach, Joe Monteleone, with assistant coach Will Goodwin also there as the first of the Paulsboro Murderers Row gets ready to come out for action.
Yep, that's it. We're looking at 145 pounds. Where Highlands, Brian Lewis, he's a freshman, he's 28, 3-1. He's going to be going up against the outstanding sophomore from Paulsboro, Matt Sudter. He's 32, 0-0. Career-wise, Matt Sudter's 62, 6-1.
And he was 6th in the state last year after advancing to the state semis before he lost. And he lost 3 in a row and come in 6th in the state, but he's having a great year. You know, I don't know if you caught it this afternoon, Nick, but he wrestled against Dan Law of Ocean City. Tech called him in 450, 21-5, and he had 3 takedowns in the first period on the way to an 8-2 lead. He had another 3 takedowns in the second period on the way to a 15-4 lead, and he scored a takedown right before the near fall that got the Tech fall, and that's pretty impressive work on your feet.
Well, Sudter going up against an outstanding freshman, Brian Lewis. He placed second in the South Jersey Tournament of Champions that we aired here on Channel 5, where teams from around the country participated in Highland, and Brian Lewis fared real well in that tournament. Matt Sudter, he's a 2-time District 29 champion, returning Region 8 champion, trying to defend his title here at 145 pounds.
And those were the first points that Lewis had given up in this tournament, Nick. He won against Teddy Eichel of West Deptford 3-0 in the quarterfinals, and then he shut out Tom McAleer, the District 29 runner-up from Gloucester Catholic, 5-0 in the semifinals. Who's beaten Brian Lewis this year, you ask me?
Who beat Brian Lewis this year?
Well, he lost in that South Jersey Tournament of Champions to a wrestler from Macaulay, Tennessee by fall. Then he lost to the outstanding undefeated wrestler from Eastern, Pavlidis, 10-6. Lost to Adams and Lenape, 6-1. And he had a tie with Cresenzo, 4-4. Cresenzo just got done wrestling and finished second in the 140-pound weight class. So those are the blemishes on Brian Lewis's record. Only a freshman and a very good one.
Sudter leading the match 4-2 is elected to let Brian Lewis up and work on his feet. He's been successful with that throughout District 29 competition and in Region 8 competition.
Nick, he gets in so deep, so fast on that ankle. That time, actually, I watched Brian Lewis that time. He actually tried to jump in the air with that ankle, and Sudter still got it. His third takedown. What were we saying last week? He almost seems boring, and yet to get takedowns as readily as he does get them, it takes quite an athlete to do that.
Yeah, he's just a technician out there. And, I think, that's Patrick Lynch may be the same way. I mean, not flashy, gets the job done, comes up with some superb moves, and, kind of reminds me of some collegiate wrestlers that we see nowadays. I mean, he is a couple years ahead of his time, maybe, even though he doesn't have any state titles under his belt or anything like that. He's just a sophomore, but he's fundamentally sound, and I think that's what makes you a great wrestler.
And that's what the coaches are looking for. Pat Smith last year, the great freshman from Oklahoma State, John Smith's brother. I mean, he was exceptional on his feet, and that won him a national title. And there are wrestlers like that that wrestle in the national tournament that are great on their feet, and that's going to win them titles. And this is the thing with Matt Sudter. As you mentioned earlier, it's not a team title at stake right now. It's all individual, one bout at a time. Stay focused. Do what works best for you. And I don't think he has the great confidence of the pinning type wrestler like Larry Devolt. Patrick Lynch uses everything. He uses
whatever's given to him, whatever he can get.
His great quickness, his great strength, his great technique. I think he's probably got over 1,000 matches in his career, Pat Lynch, and it's very tough to beat him.
Sudter of Paulsboro lets Lewis up and tries for that deep single that he's been so successful on.
Look at that.
And he gets it. He goes so deep into that ankle that it's very difficult to counter. And he gets the takedown. 8-5, Sudter leads.
All on takedowns.
He's given the 5 points away.
You think people look at this type of wrestling in a negative point of view, Nick? I mean, it's just takedown, the one-dimensional type thing. Does that disappoint some people?
Maybe. I mean, people may say, well, maybe he's not an all-around wrestler. He's not able to work from his bottom. He's not able to work from the top. But, if I was a wrestler, I'd love that criticism.
Absolutely.
Because I take those points and walk away with a title at any time.
Well, he's got what, 2 district titles already. He won the regionals last year. He's got 62 wins, 6 losses, and 1 tie in his career so far. Perfect this year. I don't know. Maybe not flashy.
Well, I guess that one-dimensional means it's one-dimensional. You always get first place. 1 minute left in the second period. And Sudter of Paulsboro again getting another takedown. His lead is now 10-5. Brian Lewis, an outstanding freshman from Highland. We'll be hearing that name, I'm sure, next couple of years. First wrestler we've seen in the finals for Highland this year.
Which is kind of unusual to an extent. Paulsboro, Delsey, Highland, 3 of the top teams in South Jersey this year. Paulsboro has 4 in the finals. Delsey has 3 in the finals, and this is the first finalist for Highland. And veteran coach Ralph Ross usually has his guys geared up for this, and it just seems like they've really stumbled through this tournament.
Well, District 31 has done a lot of damage throughout the whole tournament. They've knocked off some top-seeded wrestlers, and with 9 people in the finals, I'm sure Highland may have been part of that buzzsaw.
Yes, absolutely. By the way, Sudter, we talked about him advancing to the finals, 18-7 over Bill Serino of Overbrook in the quarterfinals, and in a tech fall 21-5 win over Dan Law of Ocean City in the finals. And Dan Law walked into that match 28-2, Nick.
Nice takedown by Brian Lewis. Just 10 seconds left in the second period. And that gets him right back into the match. It's 10-8. He does a nice front headlock, spins behind, and gets the takedown on Sudter. So Brian Lewis, that quickly, the 5 points that Sudter has given him, that quickly gets the takedown.
I can't remember too many times this year when Matt Sudter has been taken down, Nick. I don't have the statistics to back it up, but I bet you you can count the times that Sudter's been taken down this year in one hand.
Well, we're in the third period now. Sudter will be in the bottom position.
And maybe this will inspire him to do some other things. Letting the guy know and taking him down, that's fine if you keep getting that 2-1 advantage. You get taken down one time, and that's 2 for him and none for you, and that's closed the gap now. We're 10-8, and this freshman from Highland is not very impressed by the credentials. He's going out there, he's the underdog. He's not the top seed, so he's got the defending champion, and he's aiming to put a dent in that record. Dan Law, by the way, as I was mentioning, came back and won 3rd place by beating Tom McAleer of Gloucester Catholic 9-8.
Brian Lewis of Highland, he's just a freshman. He's 2 points away from tying this match. And Sudter of Paulsboro, he's on the bottom. He's just been called for stalling. Now, good Granby roll by Sudter. Trying to face Lewis.
Now, Sudter did get called for a stalling warning there. I did see that this year. When they were wrestling in Oakrest, Sudter had a sizable lead on his opponent, and he tried to turn him from the top, slipped and fell on the bottom, and it was kind of like sitting there thinking about what he should do next after trying so hard to turn his opponent, and he got hit for a stalling warning there. So that's happened before this year. Does look a little sluggish, Nick.
Not able to get off the bottom as quick as he'd like. 50 seconds left in the third period. Sudter of Paulsboro leading 10-8. He's got a stall warning called against him. Next time it'll be a point. Look, there it is. It's coming. There's 1 point, Brian Lewis. It's a 1-point match now. Brian Lewis of Highland closed this gap down. It's 10-9, just 30 seconds left in the third period. Matt Sudter in a dogfight.
And he showed a little emotion there, too. I think he kind of feels that he's put himself in his predicament. It's 10-9 with 27 seconds to go. He has to work like the devil to get off the bottom here now.
Lewis out to the side, trying to have Sudter trying to Peterson roll. You see him spinning on his head. Lewis and Highland working
15 seconds.
Able to counter this. The freshman from Hagen doing an outstanding job. 4 seconds left. Lewis won't won't get the point, but Sudter wins this match 10-9. Matt Sudter retains his Region 8 championship, two-time Region 8 champion, on pace to win 4. Outstanding job by the freshman from Highland, Brian Lewis. And we'll be back with more high school wrestling at Absegami High School. We'll come back to 152 pounds right after this.
Hello, I'm Governor Jim Florio.
And I'm Ben Vereen.
The best way to celebrate any occasion is to stay alive for the next one.
Please buckle up and don't drink and drive.
We just saw Matt Sudter from Paulsboro win his second straight Region 8 championship, and we're at 152 pounds now, where the undefeated Larry Devolt of Paulsboro is 32-0. He's a junior. He's going up against the undefeated Justin Meyer from Wildwood. He's a senior.
A senior, as we heard in the introductions, Nick, that has only had one takedown against him all year. 72 wins, 8 losses, and 2 ties in his career, so this could be an interesting battle. Meyer advancing to the finals. He beat Dale Donaldson of St. James in a close 6-4 match in the quarterfinals. Then he beat Rich Sharpnack of Pittman 12-6 in the semis. Larry Devolt advancing with a 351 fall against Dale Wetstein of Oakcrest, and then a technical fall 16-1 and 5-12 in the semifinals against Sal Giuliano of Triton. Sharpnack coming back and beating Giuliano 5-4 for third place. Larry Devolt, 84 wins, 9 losses in his career, on top of his 32-0 record right now. Nick, that win by Sudter, his
takedown number 2, and count him, takedown number 2 against Justin Meyer of Wildwood. Came with just 1 minute and 3 seconds into the first period.
Nick, that win by Sudter was his second regional champion, Paulsboro's first tonight. And a little bit of trivia for you. Paulsboro's had a region champ as we watch this replay.
Let's watch this nice takedown by Devolt. Looks like a nice ankle pick. You can see he's got a headlock. He just drops down. He brings Meyer's head to his knee, and he ankle picks Myers for the takedown. And that's the second time all year he's been taken down. And that cost him 2 points, and Devolt leads this match 2-0 with 49 seconds left in the first period.
As I was mentioning right before that replay, Nick, every year since 1971 now, Paulsboro's had a region champion. In 1971, Jack Sudter, Matt's brother, won a regional title, along with Tyrone Hamilton, who's one of the assistant coaches for Paulsboro right now. And since that 1971 season, every year Paulsboro has had a regional champion, which is quite a string.
So is that 20 years if my math?
20 years.
20 years of region champions?
Yes.
I'm not bad. Paulsboro High School graduate, able to 71 and 91. I got 20 out of that one, so not bad. 15 seconds left. First period, Devolt from Paulsboro leading 2-0. And that quickly, Justin Meyer from Wildwood is called for stalling.
Incredibly, Nick, we watch the end of this period with Devolt leading 2-0. Incredibly, that's the 52nd regional champion for Paulsboro in the history of regional tournament competition in South Jersey. The next closest team behind that 52 wins is
Pemberton.
How about? Great guess, Nick.
It's because I can read your notes. And if you didn't shake them so much, I'd have got it quicker.
Well, while we're convincing here, Devolt gets an escape, and it's 3-0.
And you got to remember, Justin Meyer's undefeated. I mean, we've seen some undefeated wrestlers, and I know earlier I said 5, and I think we've probably passed that by now.
Yeah. Of course, Wildwood not a household name for wrestling. I don't think there's ever been a regional champion from Wildwood, but hey, he's certainly giving nothing there.
Let me tell you, that was a good deep single to a double by Myers, and that quickly Devolt gets the escape, so it's 4-2. Devolt takes the lead. Again, another nice shot by Meyer. He stops his penetration, so Devolt will be able to counter this. That is trying to cross-face and spin behind. No takedown yet.
Stalemate called.
look forward to seeing the interviews by Bob Schreirock, the winner's circle, and interesting people. And the reason why I'm saying Schreirock is because, you know, Bob is no longer with me on this program. He never even called me up and said, "Look, Nick, I'm a little tired. I don't want to do it anymore." No, what do I get a phone call from John Mondell. He says, "Hey, listen, Voged's stepping in." So it's now Schreirock for the rest of his life until I get the phone call or the letter in the mail saying he's no longer with me. But Bob will be doing the interviews during and after the program. 25 seconds left in the second period.
You know, Schreirock's kind of he's a radio personality now, you know.
Oh, there goes the plug. Give me the call letters.
What's that,
Give me the call letters.
WSJ?
He's right next to you. Just tell him. Just ask him to jump on the air and give us the call letters.
Doesn't take down by the ball.
15 seconds he did that, and it's 6-2.
Well, that's 3 times he's been taken down here down this year. Only 1 time prior to tonight.
So a nice job by Devolt with just 15 seconds left getting a takedown. And that's always a sign of a really outstanding wrestler. We can get points with seconds left on the clock.
Devolt's having a great year now too, Nick. You know, he's 32-0, and gee, he just seems like a wrestler on a mission. He's a 3-time district champion. You know, he's only 1 step away from joining some very elite company there, and he was 3rd in Region 8 last year. And he seems like he really wants the gold this time.
Well, he goes in deep on that single leg. He's trying to spin behind. Remember, the 2 feet in, and he'll get the takedown.
Well, Meyer still has that underhook in there under the arm, and he's battling away.
As long as the wizard was in, and he had the wizard in, so we'll start in the neutral position. An injury clock will start for Justin Meyer of Wildwood.
And as I suspected, Wildwood has never had a regional champion, so Justin Meyer is on the threshold of a little history here, and kind of the clock's working against him now. He's down 6-2 with 1 minute 37 seconds left in the match as he's being attended to over in the corner by his coach Rick Brown. Over in the other corner, you see head coach Paul Marina and Tyrone Hamilton, who we just mentioned a second ago about being a 71 region champ, in Larry Devolt's corner.
And of course, Tyrone is the uncle of Flipper Anderson of the Rams. One time, like I said before, one time Tyrone was once known as an outstanding wrestler for Paulsboro. Now he's the uncle. Now he's the uncle of Flipper's. Yeah, that's right. Flipper Anderson's uncle. 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the third period. Undefeated Larry Devolt of Paulsboro leading this match 6-2, but that quickly, Justin Meyer of Wildwood gets the takedown and elects to let Devolt up. So it's 7-4.
Interesting. That makes it 7-4 with 6-4 with the takedown, and he'd rather wrestle him on his feet. And I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, he obviously feels confident because he's only been taken down 1 time going into this match, and he's already been taken down 2 times since. But obviously he feels comfortable on his feet, and he'd like to win this match on his feet. He has 45 seconds left to do that. He's down by 3. Devolt trying another ankle pick.
Oh, that brother. Not yet, because he's got the legs. See it?
Trying to highlight
there
it is. Meyer going in on a double. Got a little overextended. Devolt able to snap him down and spin behind and getting the takedown, increasing his lead by 5. It's 9-4. 15 seconds left in the third period. So that's his 3rd takedown in the evening. He's only been taken down 1 time prior to this match. So
that means Devolt got 75% of the takedowns against Meyer this year. And he's going to win a title.
So Larry Devolt of Paulsboro wins a Region 8 championship, beating Justin Myers 9-4. Justin Meyer undefeated going into this match, 24-0. And Devolt doing a fine job and getting to Paulsboro's 2nd Region 8 championship. And we'll come back to 160 pounds where Bucko will rematch Kevin Lamonica of Absegami right after these words. Region 8 final competition here. We're at 160 pounds. Joe Bucko of Paulsboro. He's a junior. He's 30-2. He's going against Kevin Lamonica of Absegami, 27-2. A rematch from the regular season Bucko winning that match 13-11. Lamonica from Absegami, I think, having an outstanding tournament so far. He's in the finals, of course.
Certainly is, Nick. He was second seeded coming in, and he won by a 3:26 full over Paul Toppin of Gateway, who happened to give Bucko one of his losses this year in a dual meet. And then Lamonica beat Mark Kemble, the third seeded wrestler from Overbrook, 9-2 in the semis. Bucko entering the match with a 14-7 win over Justin Phillips of St. Joseph, followed by a 13-7 win of Ware Turner of Camden.
Bucko, nice job on the takedown. He works that fireman's carry so well. Sometimes he's so aggressive on it, he's unable to finish it the way he'd like it to, but he was able to get the 2 points there and recover well to get the takedown. He was that aggressive on it.
And you know, in the dual meet, Nick, Bucko won 13-11, but it was kind of a tough dual meet for him, because several times he had to take time out during that dual meet, and it got a lot of people uneasy. And you know, we've watched Bucko wrestle several times, especially two great matches in the districts. Seems when the adrenaline is flowing and he's totally focused, he's awfully hard to beat.
Oh, we just saw Lamonica get the reversal. He steps over on Bucko and gets the reversal. So it's 2-2. Minute 9 seconds into the first period.
Of course, this is the third part of the four Paulsboro wrestlers have enjoyed so much success this year. 125-3 coming in, and they've added 2 more wins. But Lamonica looks like a man on a mission here, Nick.
District 29. And there's Joe Bucko getting the reversal. District 29 only placing 5 wrestlers in the finals. District 30 having 5. District 31, 9 wrestlers, and District 32 placing 7.
Of course, Lamonica being coached by Gene Barber, Kevin Lamonica, and Gene and I got back a long way. Nick, you know, he actually, in the old days when I did a little coaching and teaching, there's Gene on the left, the head coach of Absegami. He actually wrestled for me at one time.
So, John, can we say that you coached him possibly to a second place finish in the Nationals? I think we can.
Well, let's say this. I got him through English class, so maybe that was a bigger step towards getting him some national recognition. That was tough, man.
Oh, D. Gene, I didn't say that. It's that on the first. Bucko from Paulsboro leading 4-3, and there's Paul Marina, head coach of Paulsboro, and I think many people say Gene Barber may have been Paul Marina's mentor in wrestling to get him interested in the sport and coaching and so on.
You know, Paul wrestled once for me too, when he was a freshman. 1 match. Then he went to the JV and never saw him again.
So you promoted him. He was that good. You moved him up.
Well, this is a dog fight here, Nick.
And there's the escape by Lamonica, and it's tied 4-4.
You know, I don't think we'll ever see as much emotion as we saw in the district tournament, where Bucko come back and avenge his loss to Toppin by getting a pin, and then that great match in the finals against Carter of Deptford, where he built up so many points and got the tech fall.
Yeah.
Bucko comes in with 2 blemishes on his record, 30 wins and 2 losses. He lost to Mike Cagliano of Blair Academy up in the Caldwell tournament, 12-3 in the finals there, and he lost to Toppin in the dual meet, 10-9. Lamonica's only blemishes, he lost to Bucko 13-11 in the dual meet. He also lost to Justin Meyer 4-3 that we just saw wrestle from Wildwood.
Bucko going in for a barrel roll, gets the barrel roll and puts Lamonica on his back. May get a 2 count out of this, and there's a 2 takedown and a 2 near fall for Bucko. And
that's the kind of adrenaline that was flowing in the districts. I don't know if he can keep that up. He gives the escape, and that makes it 8-5. The coaches are up in the corner, Paul Marina and Tyrone Hamilton, both encouraging him not to let down, to stay focused, because Lamonica is such a good wrestler, he can fire back anytime. It's only a 3-point deficit right now. Takedown closes the gap to 1 point.
It's 8-5. Bucko Paulsboro leading 8-5. And Bucko spins around, gets the takedown, and the score is now 10-6.
And that brings Paul Marino up off his chair, encouraging the Bucko to keep the pressure on so late in this period. Got a 10-5 lead, 15 seconds to go.
Thought I saw another light pop up on that scoreboard, but Lamonica trying to step over again, and he's worked out well this evening. He's able to step over and reverse Bucko. 2 seconds left. That's on the buzzer, and he's going to get the the reversal on the buzzer. So nice job by Kevin Lamonica. Lamonica trailing right now, 10-7 to Bucko of Paulsboro. So Bucko leading this match by 3 going into the third period.
And you hate to see points given up, Nick, in the last second or two of the period. And that was right at the buzzer. And let's hope that doesn't come back to haunt Bucko. Traditionally, this has been a period where Paulsboro wrestlers have really done well in the past, the third period with their conditioning, but Lamonica seems to be in great condition also, and Bucko's got to start moving or he's going to get hit with stalling.
Well, he's getting hit with a crossface right now, and Lamonica on top. As long as he's doing that, he'll be the offense and the aggressor. So Bucko from Paulsboro being called for stall, as we said that.
Well, you can just sense it coming because there's not great movement on the bottom.
Lamonica really the aggressor on top, trying to work the bar arm series.
Now what Bucko has to do here, Nick, he's got 1 minute and 17 seconds left. He's got a 3-point lead. He has to fire off the bottom because they've already been hit with a warning on stalling. And if he breaks down to his belly's down again and slows down and doesn't move, he's going to be hit with stalling.
I think you're right, and that's what exactly Bucko has to do. Right up the whistle, he's got to do something, and he does. But he belly's down a little bit.
He's got to push up and he's got to go. Right now, he's got a little over a minute left in the period.
As long as the refs see that both elbows are on the mat, he'll be called for stalling. Bucko doing a quick sit-out, turn in, reaching in, grabbing the leg of Lamonica.
And almost going to get a stalemate situation here coming up, Nick.
Could be potentially dangerous. 51 seconds left in the third period. Paulsboro's Joe Bucko leading Kevin Lamonica of Absegami 10-7. Again, a rematch of the dual season where Bucko won that match 13-11.
And two district champions going at it. Joe Bucko from District 29 and Kevin Lamonica from District 32.
And remember, Bucko on bottom has been warned for stalling. Lamonica out to the side, working the half. And that's going to be another stall warning against Bucko, and that'll be a point for Lamonica. And it's now 10-8. 30 seconds left in the third period.
10-8 with 30 seconds to go. And Bucko has to fire out the last 30 seconds. He looks like he wants to do it, Nick.
Paulsboro 2 for 2 in Region 8 champions. They sent 2 men on. They got 2 titles. Bucko just 25 seconds away from a title, but as soon as he goes down, you can see that the referee, Sandy Hendricks, looks at him. As soon as Bucko goes to his stomach, you can see Sandy Hendricks jump in and get called for stalling, and that's another point for Kevin Lamonica. It's now 10-9, 8 seconds left. And you can see when Bucko goes down to his elbow, Sandy Hendricks right in there and say, that's a stall.
Right.
7 seconds away, and Kevin Lamonica, obviously frustrated, unable to turn Bucko over. Maybe a quick tilt here. 2 seconds, 1, and that's it. I don't think that's going to be any back points. And Bucko from Paulsboro is going to survive this one. He'll win the match 10-9. And Paulsboro's Murderers Rose 3 for 3 in Region 8.
And I think he did what he had to do, Nick.
Right.
Yeah, you hate to see the stalling points pile up like that, but you got to respect Lamonica. He's a great wrestler too, and you got 2 great wrestlers going against each other with a 2-point difference last time, 1-point difference this time. That's how close those 2 guys are.
And I'm going to say that this next weight class will be the match of the evening. 171 pounds. Paulsboro's Chuck Ramsey. He's a senior. He's 31-1-0 going against Delsey's Jim Rogers, also a senior. He's 29-3-0. And even though we have Pat Lynch coming up, I think that this may be the exciting match of the evening. Both of these wrestlers did not meet during the dual seasons because of some nice lineup juggling on both coaches' behalves. So they didn't meet in the regular season, but there's no backing out now. Both wrestlers meeting each other today.
And both are so strong. We got to review something here in a hurry because it could be over in a hurry.
Rogers pins the number 1 seed Drew Musley in the semifinals this afternoon, 3 minutes 54 seconds. Don't blink, because here's a drop by Paulsboro. Chuck Ramsey has Rogers in a little bit of trouble, and it's a quick 4-point move. That was done with just 14 seconds into the first period.
Well, and you said don't blink, and don't go into the refrigerator on this one either, because this afternoon Rogers is down 5-0 to Musley, came back and was leading him 8-7 when he pinned him. So, Rogers is very, very strong, very tenacious,
and
very patient.
And does not quit.
That's correct.
Gives you 6 minutes of wrestling. So, don't go anywhere, because this is an exciting match. Ramsey from Paulsboro on top.
Rogers has 3 losses this year, Nick, 29-3. Lost to Lynch by fall. That's no disgrace. 49 seconds. He lost to Walsh at Point Pleasant Borough 16-13, and Warrenchick from Pennsville 12-10 in the district final. And Warrenchick's no longer in the tournament here. He got eliminated by John Smith of Egg Harbor Township, who Ramsey pinned in 3:05. That was his second pin in the tournament on the way to this position.
Last time we saw these two wrestlers go against each other was last year in a dual season, where it was a really Donnybrook. It was like 10-12 with Ramsey winning the match.
A classic last year, and that was Ramsey just coming back off of a football injury, one of his first matches back, so he wasn't in great shape yet, and has not lost a dual meet in South Jersey in the last 2 years, Nick. All of his losses have been in tournament losses. His only loss this year on the mat was down in the finals of the Deep Creek tournament to Charles Daniels, the first Colonial, 8-5.
Well, Rogers getting the escape with 30 seconds left in the first period. Ramsey of Paulsboro leading 4-1. Good cross-grain single by Ramsey's in deep. Just 20 seconds left in the first period. Ramsey trying to switch to a double, to a single. Rogers trying to roll through. And Ramsey's going to get a takedown. And maybe some back points. No back points. But I think a takedown was awarded, so it's 6-1. An unorthodox takedown, but nonetheless, a takedown, 6-1, 1 second left.
That's as unorthodox a takedown as you can get, but he had him in trouble. Now they're discussing it.
May not be control, so, Roy Fenimore's side judge jumping in and said, hey, there may not have been any control. I wouldn't be surprised if this is waved off. And if it is, it wouldn't bother me. Oh, there's a 2.
Stands.
If it was waved off, I could see it being waved off. But it wasn't. It had cost Rogers 2 points, 6-1, 1 second left in his first period.
Well, this is everything you wanted. I mean, it's 6-1, but there's been perpetual motion since the opening whistle on this one, Nick. Jim Rogers advancing with a 2:37 fall against Ernie Carter of Deptford, beating Dave Cooley of Highland, the number 4 seed, 8-2, and then, of course, you mentioned earlier, pinning the number 1 seed, Drew Musley of Ocean City, who was second at 189 pounds last year in the region. Rogers third in the region last year, and he pinned Musley in 3:54.
Rogers of Delsey, he'll be in the top position.
There's an escape.
Ramsey gets the escape. That happened with 6 seconds.
Ramsey finished second at this weight class last year, Nick, and he got seated second behind Musley, which surprised me a little bit, but last year, the champion at this weight class was one Patrick Lynch.
Ramsey on a single and needs to keep Rogers in motion. Rogers, you can see him trying to reach in for a spladle. He's trying to reach into Ramsey's leg, and he'll try to spladle him. He tries it without the leg, and Ramsey able to get the takedown, and it's 8-1.
9-1 now.
9-1, and Ramsey really scoring at will at the moment.
Nick, we saw Ramsey wrestle in the groups, and he wrestled a couple of studs, in my personal opinion. One guy was undefeated from Roselle Park, if you remember, and he wrestled the wrestler from South River, who was built like an Adonis, and he just wears people down. I mean, he doesn't seem to be breathing that heavy right now, and he is he's relentless out there with his pressure.
Well, it's 9-1.
The old Paulsboro work ethic, or?
I guess. A minute and 2 seconds left in the second period. And this is Rogers the type of wrestler that you have to continue this type of pressure or he'll beat you.
Great Granby.
Look, there's a Granby for the escape. And Ramsey doing a good job. Not getting reversed, but giving up the neutral. That quick to a single. The takedown, and it's 11-2.
Roger just kind of shook his head there a second. I mean, he felt he had the right counter for that, and when he rocked back, and Ramsey just had great balance on that, and ends up with the 2 points for an 11-2 lead. And Roger just kind of, he looked up, just kind of like shook his head, like, what do I have to do here to get him off balance?
Ramsey has been in total control of this match since the opening whistle. Woo! And he's now working a half, getting a little high, going out of bounds. And Hallie O'Neill will award 1 point neutral to Rogers of Delsey. 18 seconds left in the second period.
I don't think Coach Paul Marino was too happy with that call, but there was Ramsey initiating the move to put Rogers on his back, and he ends up costing him a point for the escape because he lost control as they were going out of bounds, and there's no control, that's an escape. Ramsey leading 11-3, Nick, and I knew there'd be point scoring, but I'm not so sure I expected Ramsey to be up 11-3 at this point after 2 periods.
I may have to agree with you. 11 points scored by Ramsey. 171 pounds.
We knew it was no time to go get a sandwich and a soda.
Paulsboro's 4th wrestler on the mat.
These 4 have got to be such a treat for Paul Marino and his staff this year. I mean, they have just very few times have they come up on the short end of the stick.
Escape by Rogers. That'll bring the score to 11-4. What I noticed about Ramsey is when Roger gets out to a position where there's going to be a reversal, Ramsey will give 1 point, not 2. That's heads-up wrestling.
The old coaching axiom, you give 1, don't give 2 if you can possibly help it.
And there's a takedown by Ramsey.
Countering beautifully.
He's trying to put Rogers on his back. Has Rogers a little bit of trouble.
He locks it up tight.
I got to tell you, Rogers doing a fine job getting off his back, bellying down, but Ramsey able to get 2 points, scoring points at will. It's now 15-4. Wow. Again, Ramsey working that power half. He bars the far arm, throws the near half.
I don't think he'll be satisfied with anything but a pin at this point. It looks like he really wants to put him on his back.
Ramsey may be hurt. When he had an opportunity to look up, he looked up to referee O'Neill, and you could see his face. There was some pain and stopped the match. May have hurt his shoulder on that. But with that breather, it's a minute and 6 seconds left in the third period. Ramsey's leading 15-4.
If I can interject something at this point, Nick, with the regional championship by Joe Bucko, that raised Paulsboro's number of regional championships over the years to 54, which now doubles the second place team. Pemberton has scored 27 regional championships since the start of the regions. Paulsboro 54. That's quite an accomplishment for any school.
And Ramsey wants to add another one to that total.
Well, that's
he's a minute and 6 seconds away from doing
incredible when you look at what's going on these days with wrestling and see a team come in and get multiple championships in a region. That's quite an accomplishment for the teams.
Good Granby by Rogers. Ramsey does a nice job by letting him go and then following. But Rogers finally gets the escape. .52 seconds left in the third period.
I think people are getting their money's worth on this one.
Rogers trying for the big throw, looking for the big points. He needs it. He's 41 seconds away. Losing this match by 10 points. Nice duck under by Ramsey to a single. Rogers going to try to throw him over. Try for a pancake. No position change yet. Takedown by Chuck Ramsey of Paulsboro. And there it is, finally awarded.
That's incredible.
17-5. Chuck Ramsey just 20 seconds away from winning a Region 8 title. Second last year.
Third in the region last year.
Excuse me,
Or
third.
second.
Yeah, second. He lost to Lynch last year. And
Right.
he'll be a region champion this year.
First place.
Paulsboro puts 4 men on the mat, walks away with 4 titles. Outstanding job by Chuck Ramsey of Paulsboro. He'll let him up, give him 1 point. 17-6. Ramsey beats Jim Rogers of Delsey. And Paulsboro wins their 4th region title tonight.
Well,
and we're going to be back with 189 pounds where Patrick Lynch of Ocean City will go for his 4th region title right after this.
If you need help financing your first home, don't go to extremes. Let the state of New Jersey help. You can be on the move in no time. Call 1-800-NJ-HOUSE.
Back at 189 pounds where Patrick Lynch of Ocean City, he's 31-0, he's a senior. He's going up against the undefeated Damian Covington of Overbrook, a senior, 26-0. Patrick Lynch, 129 and 2 wins. He's going for his 4th region title tonight. He'll be the only second wrestler in history to do that in South Jersey. Covington going in, inside cradle. Gets the takedown. He picks Lynch up and throws him out of bounds, and the crowd loves it. Covington walks back to the center very confidently. Patrick Lynch, I don't think, is fazed by the takedown. You can see the OC on the back of Patrick Lynch's uniform.
Ocean City.
But nice job by Damian Covington, coming right after the outstanding wrestler from Ocean City. Not intimidated whatsoever. Patrick Lynch trying an elbow roll, getting the escape.
What can you say here, Nick? 2 great wrestlers. Patrick Lynch, a 4-time district champion, 3-time regional champion, 2-time state champion, 2 losses in his career. Everything that everybody paid their way in for here tonight, Nick. Over 2,200 people in here.
Again, Damian Covington is the returning Region 8 champion at 189 pounds.
Right, last year it was Damian Baylock and he wrestled at Edgewood, and this year he's Damian Covington wrestling at Overbrook, but it's the same wrestler.
Same
and he's the
outstanding
defending
wrestler.
champion.
Defending champion.
Last year, Covington, first in Region 8, 4th in the state. He's got 20 pins this year, and of course, everybody knows about Patrick Lynch. Every win he's got this year, with the exception of one's been a pin. 30 falls out of 31 tries, 1 forfeit, and 29 out of 30 falls in the first period. He has 99 career pins, 99 consecutive wins going into this match. He wins this match, he sets a new state record with consecutive wins held by Joe Melchiori.
Well, he's losing the match so far. It's 2-1. Damian Covington of Overbrook leading this match. 34 seconds left in this period. And he's down by 1.
No expression change on his face, Nick.
Covington enjoying what's going on out there. He's got to really be thinking he's still the underdog, and
he's
supposed to lose. I mean, all intents and purposes, he's supposed to lose. So whatever he's doing out there is nothing but gravy. Going on, he's going to be playing football, I believe, for North Carolina
State.
So
full ride.
Yep, full ride. So he's confident. He's saying, listen, I'm a football player first, I'm a wrestler second. I'm going to go out and enjoy myself and maybe come away with the big upset.
Oh, and he certainly got the fans on their feet right here, and there's a stall call.
Covington being called for stalling. He's backing up on Patrick Lynch.
Well, and that's because, Nick, Patrick Lynch has been the one that's been the aggressor, other than the one takedown that Covington got.
So that'll be the end of the first period, where Damian Covington of Overbrook leads Patrick Lynch of Ocean City 2-1.
Paulsboro getting 4 regional champions, Nick. By the way, the most regional champions ever in a regional in South Jersey was Highland with 6 in 1983. Paulsboro had 5 in 1978. I'm sure you remember back then. And 10 times now has the team won 4 regional titles, and Paulsboro, that's the 3rd time that Paulsboro has accomplished that fact.
Patrick Lynch trying a power elbow roll. and he's able to get the escape to tie the matchup.
Hey, just two powerful young men right there, Nick. It's a shame there's going to be a loser walk out of this match.
Well, maybe it'd be nice to see them in the state finals in a couple weeks.
Well, that's what Coach Muriello was saying. Paul Muriello coaches Damien Covington, and he made reference the other day to the possibility of one or the other of them losing, and he certainly wasn't conceding to Patrick Lynch. But he said if they finished 1-2 here in this tournament, which was no given walking in, but wouldn't it be nice if they finished 1-2 here in this tournament, 1-2 in the state? And that certainly could happen. You know, Patrick Lynch only lost twice in his career. He won a regional title here as a freshman against Charles Moore of Pensgrove. Later wrestled him in his state consolations and lost to him. So anything can happen.
I like the way Covington is wrestling Lynch. Not doing anything to get himself in trouble. Staying away. He's staying away to an extent that he's not called for stalling, and of course he's called for stalling, and that's going to be 1 point for Patrick Lynch. So, you know, Covington doing what he has to do. He's going to try to keep it close and be within striking distance of pulling probably the greatest upset in wrestling history.
In South Jersey, sure. Yep. And of course, Covington has already messed up a few people's thoughts coming in here. All the thoughts of whether Patrick Lynch would pin him in the first period or the second period. We got 45 seconds left in the second period, and Damien Covington is very much in this bout.
And the question is, has Patrick Lynch went 3 periods with an outstanding wrestler?
Well, he's only gone into the second period one time all year. He's got 30 falls, and 29 of them came in the very first period. We didn't talk about how they got to this point, but Lynch, top-seeded, had a 147 fall against Rocco Valeri of Gateway and a 147 fall against Grant Robinson of Millville. Covington won in a 254 fall against Ben Thies of Oakcrest and a 15-4 win over Charles Phones of Paulsboro, who won his consolation 8-2 over Grant Robinson of Millville to get Paulsboro 6 wrestlers going to the state tournament.
Lynch taking his time to the center. Don't know if he's tired or if he's just frustrated. He's been pushing into Covington the whole time, and he hasn't gotten any response out of Covington.
Well, Nick, I don't want to say. The referee just asking Roy Finneran if he wanted timeout for injury because he was a little sluggish on the side there. But I think this is quite a challenge for Patrick Lynch, and he does not look like the totally domineering state champion that a lot of people expected to see tonight.
Yep, he's in for a battle tonight. Covington from Overbrook, not intimidated, going right after Patrick Lynch. He's losing, by the way. He's only losing by 1 point, 5 seconds left, and that's on a stall point. Lynch having a difficult time getting back to the center.
Just like two heavyweights standing along the ropes, pounding at each other, and it seems to be taking its toll on Patrick Lynch.
That's a caution. That's going to be a caution again on Lynch. I mean, that's a second caution. That may be worth a point.
Not yet.
No, there was a caution on Covington last time.
But even with the cautions, you get two cautions before the third caution brings the first point.
Roy Fenimore raised his hand up, and I thought he raised Lynch's collar up. But he didn't. It's 3-2. Patrick Lynch of Ocean City on one knee.
They were just questioning at the scoring table about the cautions. He indicated there was one for each color, one red, one green.
Lynch is taking his headgear off, and the trainers are coming out. I didn't see him get injured, so
I think he's fatigued, Nick. I don't think he's hurt.
He may be fatigued. He hasn't gone the 6 minutes. He's in a dogfight with Damien Covington, who's obviously a strong wrestler, who's linebacker for Overbrook High School. And you can just listen to the Absegami gymnasium. They really feel the energy, and they really sense that Ocean City's Patrick Lynch is vulnerable at this point.
Right.
All you have to do is push him, and you may come away.
But nobody's left their seats, have they, Nick?
Absolutely not.
And Roy Fenimore waved over to the table, and Al Maloney came over to the table and tell him to turn the clock off for injury time, that it's not injury time, that evidently he's bleeding in his mouth. So with blood, you don't start an injury clock. So evidently he was cut inside the mouth.
Someone must have brought that up because it didn't look like he was injured. And it's like you're absolutely right. As soon as you see blood there's no time. So Covington from Overbrook on the bottom. Gets the escape, ties the match. It's 3-3. He's in deep in on a single. He senses Lynch is in trouble. And he's going right back after Patrick Lynch. Woo!
3-3 with 1:45 to go in the third period, Nick. I wouldn't have believed it. Damian Covington is really giving Lynch everything he wants.
Oh, and he takes him down with authority. 2-point takedown for Damian Covington. He takes the lead 5-3. Patrick Lynch having a difficult time getting back to the center once again. Very difficult. Patrick Lynch trying to achieve what only one other wrestler has done, and that's 4 consecutive regional championships.
Yep. Boy, oh boy.
Minute 34 left in the third period. Covington from Overbrook leading.
Find it hard to watch what believe what I'm watching, Nick. Patrick Lynch almost looks like a beaten wrestler out there. He actually looks human.
Damian Covington trying for his second consecutive Region 8 title at this weight class. Remember, Covington from Overbrook has been called for a stall already. He's going to have to bring him down, and that's where the stall, he's just been called for a stall right there.
Yeah.
He's got to bring Patrick Lynch down, and he has it. He was holding on to him, and that's a point for Patrick Lynch of Ocean City, and it puts him in a putty position because he's on the bottom. Lynch has gone down to both knees.
Yeah, we hear a cascade of boos, but I don't know if I'd be booing this. I mean, Lynch looks like he is not in shape to go 6 minutes, and
it must be blood again, John.
Yeah, I see the official indicating not to run the riding time clock. Damian Covington has really seemed to have Lynch frustrated, and I don't know, Nick. I think I would have just turned him loose when Lynch was to his feet and Covington kept holding on to him. You got to make an attempt to take him back to the mat, and I think I would have just let him go because that forces Lynch to come after him, and Covington's already got 2 takedowns.
Yeah, I don't know, John. When you're wrestling a caliber wrestler to pinch that Lynch is, I don't know if I'd ever let him go. I want him in my grasp so I could see him. Covington leading this match 5-4, a minute 14 seconds away. A minute 14 seconds left in the third period. Patrick Lynch back to the center of the match. Damian Covington on top from Overbrook.
Both wrestlers are really sweating profusely too. It's a little heated out there.
Quick stand up by Lynch. Covington going into a half. Guys, Lynch in trouble. He's on his back. He may not make it out of this period. He's on the line. He's out of bounds. Lynch trying to get out of bounds. Covington bringing him in, but there's going to be 3 back points. Oh, an outstanding job by Damian Covington. He is not at all intimidated by Patrick Lynch. 3-point near fall. It's now 8-4. Damian Covington of Overbrook.
I don't believe what I'm seeing, Nick. Look at the crowd going nuts. Look at him.
The crowd at Absegami High School. The Overbrook fans overjoyed of what they're seeing. Hey, this is the type of match that Covington comes in and says, listen, I got nothing to lose. I'll go out, I'll wrestle. If I lose, I'm supposed to. If I win, hey, look what I've done.
It's incredible, Nick. I mean, the electricity in here, you can't even describe it. You can't hear yourself think. Damian Covington's in the corner. His coach is tailing him down. He's just sitting there as calm as a cucumber. He has an 8-4 lead and with 54 seconds to go, and he is really in control.
54 seconds left in the third period. Lynch on the mat. Covington leading 5-4.
And that time, the injury time clock was used. That wasn't bleeding that time. He just got a timeout because he's a hurting pup. One of the greatest wrestlers in South Jersey history, and he is really being put to a test by Damian Covington.
Covington works this move well. He'll stand up. He'll throw the half in a standing position, and he throws it on Patrick Lynch. And that got him 3-point near fall the last time.
Incredible.
42 seconds left.
This is just incredible. It's awesome. An awesome performance by Damian Covington. I don't believe what I'm seeing. The Invincible is not invincible. The linebacker from Overbrook.
There's that standing half. He works well. He brings Lynch down to the mat with authority.
Dominating.
30 seconds left in the third period. Covington, if he just hangs on right where he is,
there will not be a second four-time regional champion, Nick.
Absolutely not. It's all over. 20 seconds left. 15 seconds left, and the stands, the fans are on their feet. Patrick Lynch of Ocean City being called for stall. 5 seconds. It's all over. Damian Covington, Overbrook High School. He'll win his second Region A championship. He beats Patrick Lynch 8-4 for a second region. And there you can see the crowd at Absegami Regional High School.
And just a nice gesture in the corner too, Nick. Barry Jackson, the coach at Edgewood High School, just went over and gave Paul Muriello, the coach from Overbrook, a big hug and a handshake in the corner. That was last year's coach of Damian Covington, Barry Jackson, with this year's coach of Damian Covington, Paul Muriello. That's going to be a lot of mixed emotions in that corner.
Well-deserved.
There they are, Barry Jackson on the right, Paul Muriello on the left.
Well-deserved win.
And that severed 99 consecutive wins by Patrick Lynch. He stays in a tie with Joe Melchiori, the all-time record, 99 consecutive wins. You see Covington going off, being hugged by teammates, well-wishers, fans. We saw a little bit of history.
A picture says 1,000 words, and that's what's happening right now.
Absolutely.
He's being lifted into the
on the shoulders.
Fans, and he's being carried out of the gymnasium. But let's not take anything away from Patrick Lynch. It's hard to go 99 consecutive wins.
And he did
without
that.
A loss. And,
yeah, he did that.
Sometimes a loss will make you a better wrestler, so don't count Patrick Lynch out in the state tournament next
year.
He's
129-3 now in his career, and of course Joe Melchiori ended up 125-3. Probably the best wrestler we saw until Patrick Lynch came along, and now you got to put Damian Covington right up in that category. That was one great, tremendous clutch performance.
Okay, we're at the heavyweight. Overbrook's Nick O'Brien. He's a senior, 25-2, going up against West Stepford's Chris Strano. He's 21-6, I believe.
Right.
And Strano having an excellent tournament, upsetting number 1 seed Jason Jenkins of Oakcrest to make it to the finals.
Well, Nick O'Brien, though, he's on a journey here, Nick. He lost early in the year twice. Hadn't really got down to his wrestling weight yet. He's a big man out there wrestling. He lost to Greg Land of Eastern by a fall of 441. Dan Nate of Gateway in 2 minutes flat. He got revenge for Dan Nate in the semifinals when he pinned him in 121.
A little anticlimactic here. A lot of fans moving around. But Damian Covington's teammate, Nick O'Brien, trying to make it 2 wins.
Oh, this is it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's over. He does it. 1 minute, 37 seconds.
I think he got hurt, Nick. Now, I don't know if the fall will stand or not, but 37 seconds in, when O'Brien drove him over on his neck, he crunched his neck pretty good there.
Chris Strano in obvious pain.
If it stands, it's a 37-second fall. That will give Overbrook their second championship. Paulsboro had 4 championships. Washington Township, Delsea, Vineland, Millville, Oakcrest, St. Augustine, and Absegami had the other championships.
So Nick O'Brien wins that, not at 137, but 137. Chris Strano of West Effort still hurt.
37 seconds in, yeah.
37, absolutely. I mentioned 137, but it was 37.
But they're attending to him, and I don't know how bad he's hurt.
It's a neck injury maybe, and they're just being very cautious. Very cautious.
A lot of movement going on right now, Nick.
What they want to do. So we'll take a break from Absegami High School, and we'll wrap it up right after this. back at Absegami High School, where we saw Chris Strano able to walk away from the mat under his own power, feeling okay. And well, of course, John, the story of the evening is the Patrick Lynch, Damian Covington upset, and Absegami High School went wild here tonight.
Oh, it certainly did, and the crowd of over 2,200 people, almost 2,400 people in here, certainly treated it to something that they may never see in another lifetime. You know, Patrick Lynch comes along, going for his 4th consecutive regional title. It's only been done one time in South Jersey history by Chuck Trotman of Lenape. Everybody just assumed that when was he going to pin him? Second period, first period, third period. But when Damon Covington took him into the third period and started to dominate the match, it was just an awesome performance by Covington.
It really was. And Region 8 competition was excellent this year. Ed Crow starts it off at 103 pounds, winning a title for Delsey. Wins in 3 minutes and 51 seconds. Then at 112 pounds, Sandler from Washington Township does a fine job. He wins in overtime criteria, number 3 criteria, over Mike Ware of Oakcrest at 112 pounds. And then at 119 pounds, Dave Lagamba of St. Augustine Prep, he wins the match at 119. And 125 pounds, Frank Dickinson of Bullion wins that match. An 8-3 win over there. And then at 130 pounds, Chuck Kress of Oakcrest, he beats Coleman of Overbrook there. 135 pounds, John Martin, the machine from Absegami, just a junior, he wins 14-6 over Ken Bullion of Violin. And 140 pounds, Dan White of Millville beats Tom Cresenzo of Delsey 7-2. 145 pounds, Matt Sudter, he gets his 2nd Region 8 title. He beats Brian Lewis, a freshman, 10-9. And what can you say? Matt Sudter led him up a few times, and it ended up being 10-9.
Yeah, maybe once too often he let him up, but you know, again, the object here is to get the win, and that's what he got.
And he did, and he got his 2nd consecutive Region 8 title. And he is on a pace of getting a 4-time shot.
Oh, yeah.
And we unfortunately didn't see Patrick Lynch do that tonight. 152 pounds, Larry Devolt of Paulsboro. He beats Justin Meyer of Wildwood, who was undefeated at the time, and he wins 9-4. And while we were doing that, it sounded like Damian Covington was awarded the most valuable wrestler in a tournament. Well deserved, of course.
Wouldn't have guessed that, huh?
I would have bet money. I would have went down to Atlantic City and bet on that one. 160 pounds, Joe Bucko of Paulsboro beats Kevin Lamonica of Absegami. 171 pounds, Chuck Ramsey of Paulsboro does an outstanding job beating Jim Rogers of Delsey. And Rogers, of course, pinning the number 1 seed.
Drew Musley, yeah, coming in.
189 pounds, we just witnessed it. Damian Covington of Overbrook beats Patrick Lynch 8-4, and it was handedly. I'm not going to say it was 5-4, 2-1. He was in total control of the match.
Awesome, an awesome performance, and you can't say enough about Covington. They just got him the Outstanding Wrestler Award. I mean, he was on a mission. He knew what he had to do. He was taking nothing away from a guy who had already won 3 regional titles, 2 state titles. My God, imagine what's going to happen upstate if Lynch and Covington meet again up there.
So Covington wins his 2nd consecutive Region 8 title. And at heavyweight, we saw Covington's teammate Nick O'Brien pin Chris Strano 37 seconds into that match.
And of course,
Overbrook gets 2 championships, and Chris Strano able to walk away on his own power.
The only other team to get more than 2 was Paulsboro with 4, and the Murderers Row increased their total record this year to 129 wins and 3 losses.
Well, that'll wrap it up here at Absegami High School. I hope you stayed tuned to watch Bob Shyrock in the winner's circle with some the winners and, of course, some interesting people here at Absegami High School. For John Vogeding. John, I got to tell you, you've done an outstanding job the last couple programs, and we need some more time with John Vogeding because he's just full of wealth and information on high school and, of course, collegiate wrestling. And with that, John, thanks for everything. Hopefully we'll do the Delaware, New Jersey All-Star match here on Channel 5. But that'll be about it at Region 8. I don't know if we can say any more with the exciting wrestling we had here. So for John Vogeding, I'm Nick Burzichelli. Remember, watch Bob Shyrock in the winner's circle. And we'll see you next time on Channel 5.
Bob Shyrock with the post-match show with Tony Marcella, the assemblyman, and, of course, the third-place winner, Anthony Marcella. Anthony, congratulations, first of all, on your third-place win, and good luck in the States.
Thanks a lot.
Wanted to talk to you a little bit, Tony, because you have quite a wrestling background yourself at Washington Township High School. 67, hard to believe all the way back to 67, but remember for us that final in 1967, Tony.
Well, I'll tell you, that was a great experience for me back in 1967 to finish second in the regions back then, and it was a tremendous experience. And I look back at wrestling is a part of how I got to the legislature. I'll tell you, looking at the kids today and watching all the basic moves that they do out there, it's amazing how wrestling has come over the course of the last 22 years. Of course, my son, he makes me proud because when you start to look at those single leg takedowns and those switches, it's still the old common wrestling.
Anthony, has he taught you much about the sport?
Yeah.
Tell us about what he's taught you.
He's taught me everything I know.
So you work with him in the midget level, did you?
Yeah, I work with my both sons. I have a son, Corey, who's a freshman, who's done very well this year, too, with Anthony, who is a sophomore. We do a lot of work with the wrestling team and the junior wrestling team. Of course, they convinced me to go out and buy a Resolite mat for our basement, so we roll around a little bit in between time in the basement to try to show them some of the basic moves and tell them that wrestling will be a big part of their life, all through their life, and it's a great sport for them.
Anthony, the program at Washington Township really on the upswing again.
Yeah, it's doing good this year. We did real good.
They have a tremendous young team this year, and it's great. I'll tell you, it's just great to see the Township back.
Okay. Nice to have you here, guys.
Good, thank you, Bob.
Tony.
Good to see you.
Hard to believe,
Long
1967,
time,
right?
Long time ago, right?
Okay.
Still following wrestling.
Okay. Now we're with Steve Isles, a very fine wrestling coach at Delsea Regional High School. A big night for Steve. 3 in the finals, already one champion in the bag. Ed Gross looked great.
Yes, he did. We're really proud of him. He's pound for pound one of the toughest kids I've ever coached, and he's really dedicated himself this year to making 103 and staying there and doing what he did against a defending region champ. I'm really proud of him.
He took command early and kept it all the way.
Yes, he is. He's a very confident young man as well.
Steve, a big night for you because you were just named the Regional Coach of the Year. That's a great honor for you. Did you expect it or not?
Well, in getting District Coach of the Year, I knew I had the opportunity to at least contend for it. Really didn't know if I would get it or not. It is an honor. You kind of feel unworthy knowing that the kids are the ones that actually perform on the mat. It is something that you put a lot of effort and time into, so I'm very thankful that my peers recognize me in that way.
A popular decision. The crowd gave you quite an ovation, Steve. It must have made you feel pretty good.
That was very kind. It really was.
Yeah, well, your program is in solid shape, Steve. But not only your program, but the whole athletic program at Delsea Regional High School. It's really a remarkable year for Delsea.
Yes, it is. There's a lot of pride that stems back to the beginning from some of the coaches like John Oberg and Sal Marquez that started the tradition, and it's just kept going from there. And some of us, like I have come back there after graduating from there and feel good about being able to contribute and stay loyal to my home school. And the teams this year have just done outstanding, and I'm just really glad to be a part of that.
You're 1 for 1, 2 to go tonight.
Yeah, they're going to be tough ones, no doubt about it. But at least we have a shot at both of them. We really feel that way.
Would you just assume from a coaching standpoint that you could come right back with your next match or two? Now you have to wait a while.
No, I don't mind the break. I can enjoy all these other guys and that you follow during the school year, and
some tremendous wrestlers here tonight, Steve. It's
unbelievable.
incredible.
It really is. This is quite a tribute to South Jersey wrestling to see the quality of the wrestling that's going on here.
We won't get a chance later to talk to you about Roger's performance this afternoon. I didn't hear about it. I heard about it, but I didn't see it. It must have been something.
Yeah, it was a real crowd pleaser, and Drew Musley is a tremendous wrestler and a great young man. So we knew we had our hands full. Jim is kind of a brawler out on the mat and was able to work a little bit of his magic somehow and came out on top of that one. But it was a real crowd pleaser.
Thanks, Stephen. Congratulations.
Thank
again.
you.
Okay. I'm with the 112-pound champion, Mike Sandler of Washington Township High School, only a freshman, and Tony Procopio, the head coach at Washington Township High School. Mike, I knew you got to be a little bit exhausted, only a freshman. Was this your first overtime match, Mike?
Yes. Yeah.
At any level?
No. I had overtimes in the midgets. Yeah.
How exhausting are those extra 3 minutes, Mike?
Well, not really, because we work hard in practice, and that shows you out on the mat. The first period, I'm more exhausted than the last, but I'm pretty sweaty in the last periods.
Did you know when it ended at 6-6 after the OT, then in criteria you were in good shape? Did you understand the criteria?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Tony, this guy's something for a freshman.
He's done a great job all year, you know. He came in as a freshman. The upperclassmen accepted him. He's done his job, and he's been a big asset to the team.
Coaches like to predict what will happen during the season. Tony, did you visualize the possibility of this guy being a Region 8 champion as a freshman?
Well, we knew he had a lot of potential. No, we didn't calculate this far. We set reasonable goals, and anything that he achieved over that is beyond call. So.
Tony, the Washington Township program obviously on the upswing. I guess you get a lot of credit for that. What's happened with the program?
Well, we had a few down years. the kids are coming up from the midgets now. They're working in well with our system. We're getting the support of the parents, the administration. They've been really helpful to us, and it shows with Mike and the other kids on the team. We have a young team, and we'll be missing a couple of the kids. Richie Walker, he's a senior this year, he'll be leaving. John Vandersilver, he's a junior, and everybody else are sophomores and freshmen. So, you know,
Mike, the freshmen, really, some of them, like you, have that maturity that 20 years ago might not have happened because of the great midget program. You've had a lot of matches before you got to high school.
Yes, yeah, I've been wrestling 8 years now.
So you're like a veteran even as a freshman.
Yeah.
Mike, you have a chance to do something not too many people have done, and that's win 4 regional championships.
Yeah.
Is that going to become a goal?
I hope, yeah.
Okay. I'll let you rest now, Mike. Great job. Tony, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Take care.
I'm with 2 Region 8 champions from Paulsboro High School, Larry Devolt at 152 pounds and Matt Sudter at 145. These guys have combined 66-0 this season. Larry, you had a guy who had been taken down only once all season long. You got him 3 times.
Yes, coach told me just go out there and get the first takedown. That's what I did. And after that, it was all my way. He don't know what to do on bottom. He's probably never been on bottom because he's only been taken down once. So I just worked my stuff, and I'm better on top. And I figure I'm not as good as I should be on my feet, but I went after him, and I got my takedowns.
He did get within 2 of you at 6'4", but then he let you go. Did that surprise you?
No, because I watched him in the semifinal match. He wrestled Sharpneck from Pittman, and he let him up 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
He beat him 12-6, and he took him down 6 times. So if he wants to go on his feet, I'll go on my feet.
Your first regional championship, Larry, I know it means a lot to you.
Yeah, since the beginning of the year, my brother's been in Saudi Arabia with the Marine Corps.
Both of you guys have a brother in Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
And I dedicated my season to him since the beginning of the year, and it's been going well so far.
Have you heard from him lately, Larry?
Nah, we just get letters. Like, it takes about 15 days to get here for a letter, and we don't know what's happening. We don't know if he's coming home or not.
Matt, congratulations on your second one, but we took it that you weren't overly happy with your performance.
It definitely was one of my better matches. I wrestled well up to the last few seconds of the second period, and I started making a few stupid mistakes. Let him have a reversal at the end, and then I would let him up and not take him down. And if you let a guy up, you have to take him down.
You've seen Lewis before, though. You've wrestled him in juniors, right?
I've wrestled him 5 or 6 times over the summer tournaments and in freestyle and Greco.
He's going to be a good one, isn't he? Only freshman.
Only freshman, yeah. He's going to be decent.
You gave him 5 points, correct? And as a result, he made it close.
Yeah, like I said, I gave him the escapes, and then I didn't finish the takedowns, and that's just a mistake that I have to correct over this next 2 weeks before state start.
Have you heard from your brother from the Gulf?
Yeah, he called home and wished me luck from Saudi Arabia.
Okay, guys, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck upstate.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm with Gene Barber, the wrestling coach at Absegami High School, with 2 wrestlers in the finals tonight. 1 success, and Lamonica just losing a real tough one to Bucko. That was a tough match.
Yeah, the first time they met, it was a real good. It was a barn burner too. I think it was 13-11, and we knew it was going to be a good one tonight, and we just fell up short again. But he tried the best he could, and we told him going in if he could stay away from back points, he had a good shot at him, and he gave up some back points. I think that's what cost him. But I'm proud of him. He's still alive.
John Martin winning a championship earlier, Gene, and probably as impressive as anybody we've seen in this tournament this year. You've coached a lot of good ones. You've wrestled against a lot of good ones. Where does he rank?
Well, as far as dedication and loyalty and his skill level, he's got to be the best I've ever coached. He wrestles all summer long, and he's won some national titles in the summertime. He's just awesome. That's what I can say.
What's his potential, Gene? What can he do?
Well, he can go all the way. It's of course, it's always tough, and you never can predict that. But if he keeps wrestling like he is, he's got a good shot to go all the way.
Understand the Paulsboro Absegami dual meet competition will not resume next year. That's a shame to see that. That's a great series.
Yeah, being from Paulsboro, it's a tough decision, but I think where our program is now, we wrestle a very tough schedule, and I feel we're doing the right thing.
Hard to believe 1969 you got out of Paulsboro High School, Gene, after that great collegiate career. Hard to believe it's been that many years, Gene.
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling it, too. Especially after matches like that.
Gene, you put on a great tournament down here. You and Harry Ackerman and the others are to be congratulated. Probably one of the best run athletic events I've ever seen.
Well, thank you. I know Harry puts a lot of time into it, and I try to help him as much as possible. But a lot of people help out, and we thank you for appreciating it, being appreciative of the tournament.
Okay, thanks, Gene.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Paulsboro with 4 in the finals and all 4 won. Chuck Ramsey at 171 pounds, Joe Bucko at 160. Guys, a tremendous job. The Murderers Row, 129-3 among you. Chuck, that is some lineup.
That just goes to show you, every time the 4 of us work down in the room, we work really hard just to strive to get better each day. Just how I said last week, the tournaments like this, it shows how everybody can come together and just wrestle the best.
Joe, that kind of competition every day in the wrestling room must really make a difference.
Yeah, it does. It's toughest guys in South Jersey, and wrestling with them makes you better every day.
You beat a real good guy, Joe.
Yeah, I feel I could have wrestled a lot better, but I haven't been feeling too well lately, so I'm happy with the win.
Got the regional championship. Chuck, Jim Rogers with an outstanding tournament. He almost was pinned earlier today. He came back with a pin.
Yeah.
He's a tough guy, and you made it look easy.
No, I don't think it was easy. I don't want to take it as easy. Jim, he's a real good wrestler, and he impressed me out there when he wrestled Musley, the way he pinned him and everything. I was surprised. I didn't know how to take it. I didn't want to get in no muscle match with him. I tried not to. At the beginning, it was kind of just like habit. You're just there. I think I caught a good break when I got into his back the first couple of seconds, but after that I just tried using slick moves. I knew he was a stronger wrestler, like upper body and everything. So.
But 17-5, and not too many people expected that, Chuck.
I don't know. I think, as I said, I just try to slick him out a little bit. I try, because when he gets in them little wild matches, that's where he's best at, and I try calming him down a little bit. And it came to my better.
So 2 more weeks to go, Joe.
Yeah, I hope I have a good showing upstate.
Okay. Nice going, guys. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Paulsboro coach Paul Marino with a little chance to relax now. Paul, you send 4 guys to the final, and your best dreams come true. All 4 make it. What a performance.
Yeah, outstanding job tonight. Them 4 guys have been carrying us all year with, we call them Death Row, and they just do an outstanding job. I was just a little concerned making sure that they don't get over anxious and just go out and give 100%.
We talked just briefly to Ramsey and Bucko about the importance of them being able to face each other in the wrestling room because of the similarity in weights. How much difference does that make, Paul?
That makes a big difference. I think that the key this year was that when you have a 3- and 4-man group like Bucko, Ramsey, and Devolt and Sudter, it makes it so much tougher in the room for these kids, and that's it. If you have good competition in the room and you work hard together, I think when you go out on the mat, you're definitely going to suck it up when the time comes.
All of them wrestled well. Ramsey, I thought, surprised a lot of people at how handily he defeated Rogers. 17-5. I don't think too many expected it that one-sided.
Yeah, I think Chuck's key is that he's quick and he's tough on his feet. As long as he doesn't get into a muscle battle, he's going to be fine. And Chuck did an outstanding job on his feet, and that's where the match was won.
Paul, you have 2 weeks now before Princeton. What happens from a practice standpoint in these next 2 weeks?
Well, I just think we'll get a couple of days off, give him a chance to just relax a little bit, and then maybe a light run Tuesday, and then Wednesday get back into it. And just the big thing is not let their weights get real high, and get them mentally ready for the States, because physically they're pretty much ready.
Paul, I know you had a lot of highlights. How does 4 for 4 rank with them?
These guys, it's been unbelievable. Last week at the district, we went 9 for 9 in the finals, and we knew we could go 4 for 4 tonight. We just had to make sure we took one match at a time, and they did a great job.
Thanks and congratulations, Paul.
Thank you very much.
With Damon Covington, the most valuable wrestler, no doubt about that, and Paul Moriello, the head coach. Guys, congratulations. This might rank in some people's minds as one of the greatest upsets in South Jersey wrestling history. Is it an upset to you, Damon?
Yes, it is. I knew I had to go out there and be tough. I wasn't scared of his status or worried about it. He had 100 and some odd wins, but I knew I was going to be tough out there and determined. Some good shape, had a great wrestling partner in Nick O'Brien, and we just worked the whole week before the regions, and I just was determined, real determined.
You looked very confident. Were you confident?
Actually, I was. I was very confident, but at the same time cautious. I was cautious. I was trying not to get caught in any pitfalls, and at the same time I was trying to be aggressive.
Paul, you've had a lot of wrestling highlights in your great coaching career. Where does this one rank?
Well, obviously this ranks right up top with some of the best. Team accomplishments are very good, but this particular accomplishment that Damien just did, I mean, he said it better than I can. Damien has been a very confident wrestler, but never an arrogant wrestler, and he's ready, he's prepared for opponents, and you can't ever underestimate. How can you walk out there with Pat Lynch and think that? But I think Damien gave credit where it belongs with Nick O'Brien, our heavyweight, that works with him every day. And I'd like to credit his parents and also Barry Jackson, who worked with him for a few years before he transferred to Overbrook. This has all been part of Damien's preparation. It just culminated here.
Paul, I have to ask you the obvious question. Did you think he could beat Lynch?
Oh, absolutely. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying here. I don't expect to send a young man with his athletic ability out there not to win. Now, if Pat would have won, that so be it, but he went out there to win. You can see he was prepared to do that. But they may meet again. Hopefully they will meet again.
It was a great match. How about from a strategy standpoint, Damien?
No strategy. I just had to wrestle and watch myself.
Did it go as you planned?
I didn't plan. I just went out there with a clean mind and just went to wrestle. I had to react to every situation, and I did.
Did you surprise yourself when you took him down in the first?
No, I didn't surprise myself. I just was hungry for it. I had him down. I knew he was going because I could feel him breathing hard.
Could you hear the crowd? That crowd was really behind you.
Yeah, coach kept telling me, "Not worry about the crowd." But I was in tune with the match. I was in tune with the match.
Okay.
But I was just having fun, really. The crowd, everything, coach. It was real fun out there.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Wonderful match.
Thank you.
Paul, thank you very much. Okay. This is Bob Schreier from Absegami High School. Good night for Gloucester County in the Region 8 tournament.